Arizona here on opening day for the 2026 college baseball season. We welcome you to Surprise Stadium as the Arizona Wildcats, the 24th ranked team in the country, get ready to take on former conference rival, the Stanford Cardinal, on this beautiful evening for baseball. With former Rice All-American David Hartsma, I'm Mike Farron, and we welcome you to Surprise Stadium for the broadcast tonight. You see Owen Kramkowski on the right of your screen warming up. He is the ace of this Arizona staff, and David, this is a guy that there are a lot of scouts here to see tonight. He is likely to be a day one draft pick in June's draft.
And absolutely they should be. Big, tall, lanky right-handed pitcher, up to 97, 98. This kid has an electric arm and great stuff.
He was their best pitcher a year ago when Arizona made it back to the Men's College World Series. And they get ready to face on this talented young lineup for the Stanford Cardinal, starting with Tatum Marsh. And you see there in the middle of the lineup, Rintaro Sasaki. We will talk plenty about the first baseman in his sophomore year. No one hit more home runs in high school in Japan than Rintaro. We are just about ready for baseball. It's opening night for Stanford in Arizona. And just as soon as Owen Kramkowski can hear the signs, we will get underway.
Nothing says college baseball opening night like that.
There's all the hype and all the excitement, and it gets pushed back because somebody forgot to turn the volume up on the pitch count. Steve Mattingly says we're ready to go. Kramkowski works from the stretch with nobody on base. And the first pitch of the ball game to Tatum Marsh is outside a ball, and we are underway.
93-mile-an-hour fastball just off the outside corner. Like I said, you're going to see this guy with some great electric stuff. Dax Whitley, I think first pitch was 98. This is 93, but you're probably going to see him warm up as the game goes.
Tatum Marsh was an on-base machine for Stanford last year. Had a tremendous freshman season, starting at the bottom of the lineup and working his way to the top. He's an excellent defender. He can put pressure on. This is going to be a great test for Kramkowski here on opening night. The pitch. Hit in the air to center. Going back on it is Carson McIntyre. And the Oregon State transfer under it to make the catch. And the leadoff man gone in the Stanford first.
It's a good out to get right there. Marshall basically All-American everything. Second team All-American everything. It's a good out when it's a first batter and it's a tough one.
Here is Charlie Bates. Left-handed hitting shortstop, the Palo Alto native. He moves into the shortstop role this year after Timo Becerra transferred. Bates, a highly regarded recruit a year ago, as he takes inside 1-0. Bates grew up right near the Stanford campus. His dad is a prominent plastic surgeon in Palo Alto. And he waits for the 1-0 from Kramkowski. On its way. And it's 2-0. Bates last year tore thumb ligaments playing center field in a game against Cal. He was limited to just 25 games a season ago. Hit .270 with just one home run. This was a perfect game All-American and as a high schooler and a very, very prominent prep player. Here's the 2-0. Chopped towards the middle and through for a base hit. Charlie Bates, the first hit of the season for Stanford, and he's aboard with one out in the first.
Good start for Charlie. Yeah, you're gonna take him any way you get him. And when you're fast like he is, chopping off the ground isn't the worst thing in the world. Now Stanford has their first runner.
Jimmy Nadai bats. The Australian-born second baseman who had chances to sign as a pro, but decided to come back to Stanford for his senior year. He led this team with 16 homers a year ago. The first pitch from Kramkowski. A strike on the inside corner, 0-1. Right now, it looks like Kramkowski struggling, fighting that command just a little bit. I mean, we talked earlier today about the nerves of opening day. There has to be adrenaline for him.
Adrenaline is flowing. It's the first game of the season, opening day. You're in an incredible, beautiful stadium. You have that adrenaline. You're trying to calm it down. You've been facing hitters. Now, these guys have been pitching.
On the ground to third, could be two, to second for one. On to first, not in time. That runs too well. As Moran Mikalakis tried to start the double play in Bicker's turn, just not in time. Go ahead, David.
So you're starting the season off. You have been facing your own team a ton, but again, at the same time, it's only been your own team. So you go through phases. You'll have a lot of adrenaline and kind of nerves that first time you throw against your own team, and again at the opening season. And hopefully, as the game goes, you calm it down a little bit, you relax, and you start learning how to pitch again.
Brady Reynolds battled injuries last year, too, but hit over 300 for the Cardinals, though serving as the DH today. Left-handed hitter. Checks it, takes a strike. It's 0-1 out of the top of the zone at 93. This is a powerful Stanford lineup. They have basically an entire second platoon of freshmen that they are really excited about. There are a number of sophomores in this lineup, guys without a ton of experience. Runner goes, pitches the ball, the throw to second, into center field. And I will have to hold on. It's a stolen base. And Stanford with the first man in scoring position tonight in this scoreless first.
It's always nice when your three-hole hitters can steal second base. You're going to open things up. You're going to make your offense more aggressive and be able to have better at-bats when you have something like that. That is classic West Coast baseball.
Reynolds, a junior, one of two juniors. There is a senior in the lineup. The rest are freshmen and sophomores for Stanford. Swing and a miss. Ooh, tied up there with is that a cutter that time? Yeah, in under his hands. It's a good pitch.
93-mile-an-hour fastball that rides and has good life, and you throw that cutter. That is a tough pitch to hit.
Just underway in the top of the first. Stanford threatening early the pitch. A jam job over the mound. It can be a tough play, and Morant's throw will be late. An infield single for Reynolds, and it puts runners at the corners now for Rintaro Sasaki in his first plate appearance of the year.
Another cutter inside, threw it exactly where he wanted, got the swing, got the result he wanted, just didn't hit it hard enough.
Rintaro Sasaki, the all-time prep home run hitter in Japan. He struggled through an uneven freshman season a year ago at Stanford. There were unrealistic expectations on him. 7 home runs for the slugger. First pitch, he takes a high strike. It's 0-1. David, one of the things to watch for with Sasaki is how does he adjust to swinging to handling velocity. That was a challenge for him last year going through the ACC for the first time.
Well, it's a whole different ball game, right? You're just facing different types of pitchers, different types of action, movement, and you know what? It's an adjustment. Good hitters make adjustments like that. Even if you're a freshman, you deal with it, you'll handle it. But let's see how that adjustment happens as he goes. He is a great hitter. So I have no question that he's going to be able to get these hitters, get these fastballs, and be able to hit the ball.
Opening weekend against Cal State Fullerton last year, he had 4 doubles in that 4-game series, and it felt like he was going to be on a roll, but really struggled in the ACC play. The 1-1. Sasaki fouls it back. That was a really good cut there. It's 1-2. And that's something we didn't see a lot of from him last year, that big aggressive swing.
Let it eat, man. When you have the big bat, let it eat. And you know what? Facing college pitching, especially the ACC, is a whole new monster. You have to swing hard to hit it hard.
1-2 the count. Stanford with runners at the corners, 2 outs, top of the first. A long hold by Kramkowski in the pitch. Runner goes from first, and Sasaki clubs one deep and foul down the left field line and out of play.
That ball was deep. That ball kept going. That would have been a home run if it was down the line. He hit that ball well and a little late on it, but 94, top of the zone, would make you a little late when Kramkowski is throwing the cutter the way he is.
So we'll do it again. Yeah, that went above the zone. Just a little tardy on that high fastball. Reynolds gets the lead from first. Nadi down the line at third. Runner goes, and a pop-up foul off to the left and out of play. Sasaki got tied up.
He is so good with that cutter.
Mm-hmm.
That is incredible. The way he is using that cutter against lefties. We talked about this in game 1. Throwing sliders into lefties is a very difficult pitch. Throwing cutters into lefties and trusting it is just as difficult to do. He has thrown every one of those cutters just off the plate inside. That is uncomfortable as a batter.
He was very unpredictable last year. 40% fastballs, 31% cutters, 29% sliders to lefties. The 1-2 again, Sasaki bounces a foul. First base side, it was the cutter. Now, this has to be a situation, though, with Kramkowski. You know that Sasaki has struggled against velocity in the past. Do you really want to keep going to that cutter, which might be in a better range for Sasaki to run into?
The where he's throwing it, I've got no problem with it. Now, at the same time, when you have a fastball like him, at this point, after a couple cutters, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a fastball top of the zone, try to get a late swing.
The 1-2 again. Runner goes from first. He takes inside. Ball 2. And Reynolds kind of walked into second base there. Kramkowski wanted that call, but it was in off the plate. So a pair of stolen bases in the innings. And now 2 in scoring position for Stanford in the first.
Reynolds trying to force the throw down to second base to see if they'd be aggressive, try to make a mistake, and trying to throw him out.
2-2. Swing and a miss. Cutter in under his hands, and Kramkowski gets out of the jam. Stanford threatens, but they leave a pair in scoring position as he punches out the big man. We head to the bottom of the first. No score. Beautiful downtown Phoenix, the campus of the state capitol. We are about 35 miles northwest of that in Surprise, Arizona. This gorgeous night, temperatures in the 60s, a perfect day for opening day. And Nick Dugan, longtime reliever for Stanford, is getting the ball on opening day. Stanford is trying to figure out how they are going to get outs every game. We know that their lineup is going to be potent, but it was a very disappointing pitching season their first year in the ACC a year ago. And now they're going to count on their most experienced arms in Nick Dugan today and Aiden Keenan tomorrow.
Yes, there's a lot to figure out. They do have arms. They have a lot of them, a plethora of them. But we got to figure out who's going to be the guy to take the ball. We know who's going to be taking it day 1. After that, it's going to be kind of figure it out. And you know what? That's part of the season. This is an opportunity for guys to be able to step up and earn jobs, and you got to love that.
Tyler Bickers will lead things off. He's a transfer from UW-Milwaukee. As you see the lineup, no Easton Breyfogle in the lineup tonight for Arizona. Their star outfielder dinged up in a scrimmage last week as the first pitch of the game is a strike to Bickers. That's 0-1. Breyfogle has battled a ton of injuries over the course of his Arizona career. Unavailable tonight, may DH at some point this weekend. But Bo Sylvester, the catcher, gets the start in left field instead. And the count 1-1 to Bickers. Tyler Bickers, as we mentioned, from UW-Milwaukee. Not necessarily known as a baseball hotbed. They have one prominent big leaguer. Dalton Varsho played at UW-Milwaukee.
Really?
Yeah. Toronto Blue Jays center fielder. Last year, a .482 on-base percentage for the right-handed hitting infielder, and he takes outside 2-2. Pretty loud numbers. .369 average, slugged nearly 500, more walks than strikeouts for Bickers a season ago. 2-2. And the count goes full.
Kind of consistently pulling the ball. Same thing we talked about. That's what happens when you have a little extra juice in that first game, first batter. You tend to pull it. He is a strike thrower, so we're not too worried about that.
The 3-2. Vickers checks, and he held up. A leadoff walk to start the Arizona first. Get a look at the replay there, and you can see that he did hold. Maddox Mailakis hits the third baseman. Left-handed hitter. They're counting on him to be one of the key offensive pieces for this Arizona squad this year. Vickers gets the lead, and the first pitch misses low. It's 1-0.
Mr. Baseball, Minnesota.
Back in 2023. Played for his dad in high school. And he swings and bounces it to first. Sasaki knocks it down and will take the out at first. Vickers the second on the play, 1 out.
It's all you can do if you're Sasaki is just try to stop that ball. You don't want it to go down the line and become extra bases. A run would be scored from Arizona. Get that body in front of that ball and stop it.
Andrew Kane hits. Kane, the junior outfielder last year, hit 6 homers for the Wildcats. .350 on base percentage. Getting in the 3-hole today. First pitch inside, 1-0. He has power. This is an Arizona team that's not unlike the club we saw this afternoon at Oregon State, David, in that they had a lot of players that they lost from a season ago from the team that went to Omaha. A lot of members of that lineup. And when inside out swing down the left field line, it's going to fall fair for a base hit. Vickers got a great read. He will come home to score as the throw goes to second. And the Wildcats have the lead 1-0.
Great lead is a great read is exactly what that was. He saw that ball falling the whole way. He never slowed down. Scored. It wasn't even close to throw home. As you see it, jam shot on the inside, but you take what you get. Wonderful read. 1-0.
Tony Lira bats. Did not play last year. Right-handed hitting first baseman. A sophomore. First pitch. Takes outside. 1-0. But Arizona from a season ago lost so many key contributors. Mason White, Aaron Walton, Brendan Summerhill, who was a second-round pick. Walton was a late second-rounder. Tommy Splain, who was an important part of the team for a number of years as Lira swings and misses. And so they're in a spot where they're trying to figure out how they replace the offensive production of those guys and Adonis Guzman. I mean, Garrett Caulfield, who was a 6-year player at Arizona. So it is a little bit of a challenge for Chip Hale's group this season. Pop foul off to the right and out of play. And when you think Arizona, you think power, right?
Yes.
It's thin air, it's elevation, it's the desert. And that's not the way Chip Hale was talking to us this week.
Not at all. Usually high Corbett Field, you want to get the ball up and out, and it's usually no problem. And when you don't have that power, you have to get creative. You have to find out what type of ball club you're going to be. We've talked about this with other baseball teams. Oregon State's having this kind of same thing. Lost a lot of power. You have to kind of reinvent yourself a little bit. And at the same time, let the players dictate what type of team they're going to be. You watch the game, you watch how they play, you learn it, and a really good coach, Chip Hale, adjust his coaching style for that type of team.
2-2 the count. In the air to right center, moving over and making the catch on the run in right field is Marsh, 2 outs. Back to first goes Kane. There's Bo Sylvester. Sylvester getting the start in left field. There's the right-handed hitting outfielder who started 5 games to open the season in 2024 behind the plate for Oklahoma State before suffering an injury, a knee injury and a collision at first base that cost him the year. And then he moved into more of a backup role last year. He's got a good recruiting story. He originally was going to go to Washington when Jason Kelly was the head coach there. Takes in the dirt, 1-1. reopened his recruitment, visited Stillwater, connected between either Stillwater Regional Airport or one of the Oklahoma airports to Dallas, and called Josh Holliday, the head coach, to commit while he was eating at a TGI Fridays at DFW. Now, I've been to that Fridays at DFW. It's not a whole lot of privacy space to call in and commit to a university, but that's what he did.
Nothing says Oklahoma State like TGI Fridays. No, it's a cool story. It's neat, and you know what? You never know where that stuff's going to come, where you're going to be in your life. I was washing a car when I got drafted. You never know. You know what? It strikes you. You know, you go, you take a visit, you're on your way. You know what? I love it. I can't stop thinking about it. I want to go to Oklahoma State. I totally get it. I took a visit there back in early 2000, I think it was. And I loved everything about it. I would have loved to play for Oklahoma State. Just like him, he wanted to go there. If you're at TGI Fridays, call the coach up, say, yeah, I'm coming.
Did you have the bucket and soapy water out for your Camaro? Is that what you were doing? What to? In the dirt. It's away, but not far enough for the runner to advance.
With my Eagle on the front.
Was it a T-top, Dave?
Like the old jokes. Thank you.
2-2 the count. 1-0 Arizona last of the first. Down low, the count is full. I'm assuming it wasn't a Toyota Corolla or something like that, right?
It was my dad's car, so I think it was a Saab. There you go.
Oh, well, that's nice. It's a nice vehicle. One that deserves to be hand washed.
Yes.
3-2 the count. 2 outs last of the first. Runner will be on the move. Sasaki holding him. Now a step off, 1 of 2 allowed. Without a pick throw for Dugan. You can hear the Arizona players cheering on the left fielder. Runner goes, swing and a miss. Sylvester down on strikes, and the inning is over. But the leadoff walk comes around to score, and Arizona takes the lead. Sylvester late on that fastball. We go to the second. Arizona 1, Stanford nothing. And you see Dave Esker, the head coach of the Stanford Cardinal, in his 9th season, former All-American at Stanford, part of the national championship teams in '87 and '88. Coached at Cal, took Stanford to the Men's College World Series in 3 consecutive years, 2021, 2022, and 2023. One of the really great guys in college baseball. I am a huge Dave Esker fan. Both of these coaches are 2 of my favorites. They competed against each other when Eske was at Stanford and Chip Hale was playing at his alma mater. In fact, we were talking to Dave before the game. His son Xavier originally spent 2 years at Arizona playing for Chip Hale, was recruited by Chip Hale and Trip Couch. Is that what misses low? The first pitch to J.J. Moran, the sophomore third baseman. That's 1-0. Xavier now playing at Santa Barbara, and they had a big win today in Hattiesburg over Southern Miss, 5-1. He said, "How'd he do?" He said, he was 2 for 4. Takes after his old man. 1-0 outside to Moran. It's 2-0.
What I love in college baseball is how connected all the coaches and families are. They all know each other. They've all played against each other, with each other. Kids are playing for each other, and there's no animosity. Like, they just love it, and they understand and respect each other.
Eske was, I don't know if he was the hand-picked successor to Mark Marquez, but certainly Marquez had influence. Esker had been an assistant at Stanford before taking the Cal job, and then came back to the farm. And just 2 weeks ago, college baseball world lost Mark Marquez, affectionately known as 9. He built the Stanford program into what it is today. J.J. Moran, a leadoff walk in the second. We will talk plenty about 9 throughout the course of the weekend. You had a chance to compete against his teams in the 2003 College World Series when Rice won. He was there with Stanford, and he was frequent coach on Team USA, just one of the most important figures in college baseball history.
Without a doubt. And growing up and knowing college baseball, I wanted to be a Stanford Cardinal because of him and what he had built. And then you get to play against him, and you respect him. Yes, you want to beat him, but when you look across that dugout, you know somebody like Mark Marquez, that what they bring to the game, every single player is going to be better for that, as a player, as a man, on every single level. And so his teams and what he brought to college baseball, they were hard to beat. You couldn't beat them on or off the field. They were incredible.
I'm getting a mound visit here. You can see, if you see Rentaro Sasaki there, there's a small patch above Stanford that's the number 9. That's in honor of Mark Marquez. They'll be wearing those patches all season long. Look over at the Arizona dugout. You can see it right there on Luke Lavin's jersey, but Mark Marquez, an important figure, and somebody who was super important to Dave Esker too.
There probably isn't a program in college baseball he has not touched.
Here's the 1-0. A strike. It's 1-1 to Lavin. Yeah, I can imagine those battles between Mark Marquez and your college coach, the late great Wayne Graham. Think of so many of those guys. Skip Gillespie at USC.
Yes.
You know, the six-pack, as they called it back in the day, that one hammered foul, first base side, was really the pinnacle of college baseball. It was the 6 teams, 4 in California, 2 in Arizona, that were part of the Pac-10 at that point. And all of those coaches were legends. Jim Brock at Arizona State, Jerry Kindle at U of A, Gary Adams at UCLA, Skip Gillespie following Rod Dato at USC, Mark Marquez at Stanford. It was really incredible. Lavin, another one ripped foul. But that's kind of the gold, in that golden era of college baseball as it was building, those were all important programs.
And even a little bit further past that, not necessarily in the pack, but Augie Guerrero, man.
Cal State Fullerton, yeah. I mean, the West Coast is such a huge part of, and that's part of the excitement of seeing, these two former conference foes meet each other with Stanford and Arizona, is that you have this great history between these teams, because the West Coast was the best coast for a long time. I mean, USC dominated the sport with championships. Arizona State, Arizona, Stanford, a frequent Omaha visitor. They went 5 years in a row under Mark Marquez at one point. So that was a huge growth. And you mentioned Augie and then George Horton at Cal State Fullerton. Such important figures. But these are two programs with great history. Remember, dancing off first, and Trankowski will throw over. Diving back is Moran. Trankowski doesn't look comfortable in this inning right now.
Doesn't look comfortable. It's pulling the ball. Everything's off just a little bit. Kind of putting his hands over his head. You see him kind of shaking the arm out a little bit more. Just, getting some runners on base, getting some action. You know what? That Stanford bench is letting him hear it too. Stuff like that does affect you. And you haven't heard that. That's the thing. You have not heard this at all since the season ended last year, where when you're in inter squads, nobody's yelling like this. Nobody's yelling at you. Nobody's kind of picking you a little bit, picking you apart, saying little things that you don't want to hear. You're not having guys jumping off base, trying to earn a job, and so there's a lot of different things you're dealing with, and you just got to calm it down. You got to quiet it out and not let it affect you.
3-2 the count, nobody out. Leadoff man aboard for Stanford, trailing 1-0 in the second. Another throw over and having to scramble back that time was the runner Moran. I think he may have been leaning a little bit there.
He's been jumping off the bag, trying to time it, trying to do the jump,
the vault lead.
The vault.
He goes, the 3-2, hammered deep to center field, but it's going to die out in front of the warning track for out number 1 as McIntyre runs it down. And back to first goes Moran.
Long, deep fly ball, died in this cold night with the wind coming in. During the day, with a little bit warmer, that ball might even get out. He put a great swing on that.
Yeah, it really is. We have seen this before where at night this ballpark plays pretty big. Tonight definitely feels like that. It is unusual to have the wind blowing from right center field. You can see the flags there blowing almost towards the left field corner, but it will push balls in. It might help some down the line and left near the bullpen. First pitch is a breaking ball strike to Ethan Hott, the Phoenix native. You see the breeze here, a cool night. David planned accordingly. He's wearing a chinchilla coat tonight.
Don't call him out. Come on.
Just look good.
It was a gift. So thank you.
It's faux chinchilla, but that's better ethically that way, right?
Yes, so, of course. I would never wear the natural stuff. We're talking about the ballpark and how it's playing a little big. The one thing, too, versus a lot of college baseball stadiums, these big league ballparks that they're using here aren't huge. They're big for Arizona anyways. They're 350 down the line, 400 in the center. But they're big ballparks, and then at night they play even bigger. It's hard to get a ball out here at night.
Hot swings and misses, 2 outs, and that'll bring up the freshman Brock Sell, 1-0 Arizona in the second. Yeah, the one exception to that is the University of Arizona, who plays at High Corbett Field, which was a spring training facility. You may remember it from the movie Major League, that it featured prominently in that. And that is actually, it is a bigger ballpark even than this, and very deep to left field. So they have a little bit more experience, but I think it's a great point that college baseball ballparks have gotten smaller and smaller. Brock Sell, former perfect game All-American. This is his first collegiate at bat. Sell is a very highly touted freshman who has hit at every stop he's been on the showcase circuit, in high school, travel ball. He is a very good hitter. Runner goes, pitches a ball. The throw is high and off the glove of Moran into center field, but not far enough for Moran to advance. That's 3 stolen bases. It does seem like part of the game plan is to run on Roman Myers.
And that is the second time I believe he's put a ball in center field as well with the throw. Arm just a little high. He's got to get that down. Aim right at the pitcher's head. And if you bounce it, you bounce it. But you can't be overthrowing it, or a hitter or a runner whose head's up is going to be standing on third base.
Now a base hit would tie the game. Here's the 1-0. Sell taps it foul, third base side. The count 1-1. Now, do you think it's Kramkowski particularly slow to the plate? Is that part of the reason why they're running?
I think the one thing we're seeing with them that we haven't seen yet in this series, in this tournament, is that vault lead, and they're timing them up very well. Each time they've stolen, they've gotten a great jump. Kramkowski's a little slow. I'm okay with that, especially when you're not necessarily throwing strikes. Take your time, try to get some strikes. If the guy goes to second base, who cares? You have strikeout stuff. But at some point, you have to address it, get a little bit closer, a little bit quicker to home plate, and change your looks up. You don't have to necessarily always be fast at home plate. You can just change your looks with the runner, change your timing. Don't let them get that vault jump. But again, I did see one of those stolen bases. He had his feet planted and just took off. You just can't you got to change up those looks. Make him a little bit slower to second.
2-1 the count to the left-handed hitting Sell. The freshman waits. It takes a strike. It's 2-2. Now, as good a hitter as he was in high school and on the travel ball circuit, I'm not sure that Sell saw that many cutters from righties that they're that well located from Kramkowski.
No, you're not going to see that. You're going to see a lot of good fastballs, but not necessarily the off-speed stuff like this.
2-2 the pitch. Just low, and the count is full. It has not been easy work for Kramkowski to this point. This will be pitch number 40 on the night. 2 outs into the second. Here's the payoff. Outside, ball 4, and the inning continues.
Went back to the cutter, and it just backed up on him, stayed away. He's been really good with the cutter, especially in. Now that one just backed up on him.
Here's Marsh. Kramkowski going to have to dig deep here. Another long inning pitch-wise. And here comes Sean Kelly, the new pitching coach for the University of Arizona. Came over from the University of Iowa. He's been around. Longtime pitching coach at Georgia. Under Scott Strickland there. Spent a year at Houston with David Pierce. Now out to visit with Kramkowski, trying to get him to settle back in.
When the entire pitching coach staff leaves Arizona, it's a tough spot to be in. You're kind of left in the dust, and you know what? He's here to pick up the pieces. So one of the big things that they talked about was just getting back to games, pitching, and just getting ahead of hitters, getting ground balls, getting outs. And that's some of the easiest stuff you can do as a pitching coach. They have all of the equipment they need down at Arizona, all the lab, all that stuff. Worry about that later. Just be a pitching coach. Go old school for a little bit until you get your feet under you.
Yeah, we'll talk more about what's happened to the pitching infrastructure for Arizona in the last couple of months a little bit later on in the broadcast. First pitch to Marsh, misses low. It's 1-0. Marsh a season ago as a freshman posted a .459 on base percentage. 11 walks and 19 hit by pitches. 1-0. He takes a strike and the count 1-1. Terrific defensive outfielder. His younger brother Quentin was a bigger prep star than him and is a two-way freshman on the Stanford roster. The 1-1. 2-1 now. Let's see, Nick Dugan trying to stay warm and loose in that dugout. He doesn't look very concerned right now. This is not the first rodeo for Nick Dugan. 2-1. Takes outside, 3-1 to Marsh. I'm sure he would take a long inning if Stanford puts up a crooked number.
He'll be okay with that. Even if it's cold, all that stuff you'd have to deal with, I'll take a couple runs.
3-1, a big pitch here with Marsh at the plate. Ran from second, Sell from first, and a called strike. And the runners will be on the move with 2 outs.
Yes. So my favorite parts of baseball, that 3-2 with 2 outs, you see the runners, you see type of the lead they get. Sometimes you can catch somebody sleeping and maybe back pick, but these guys will get good leads.
The runners go. Swinging a roller to short. Morant charges and will eat it. It's an infield single for Marsh, and now the bases are loaded for Stanford. Heads up play by Morant to not try and make a play.
Heads up, absolutely. Gave a little bit of a fake and then checked that runner at third base. He had no chance with Marsh running down that line with how fast he is. Made a smart call. It is the worst thing as a pitcher to ever happen to you, because you just want to at least give me that throw, get that out. But you know what? Save that run at third. You don't want to take a chance.
2 infield singles, and the third single belongs to Charlie Bates. Shift on for him. He had a base hit back through the middle his first time. First pitch to the left-handed hitting Bates. Swing and a miss. It's 0-1. This is the big shift. Remember, they can still shift in college baseball. They're cheering on Bates for turning it loose on that first swing.
He was trying to put it over those over the light posts.
And then over the second baseman that's playing it shallow right. The 0-1. Foul down the left field line. It's 0-2. And they're calling catcher's interference, and Bates will go to first, and the game is tied. Steve Mattingly, the home plate umpire, all over it right away. And it does not seem that Roman Myers agrees.
Roman Myers definitely does not agree, as we see the replay here. Yes,
yeah,
absolutely. Roman really, you see the catchers nowadays putting the glove down, bringing it up to the ball. Sometimes with him, you see it a little bit quicker, later than a lot of guys that I've seen. It's a more stabby. And so, but when you do that, and what you're teaching now is you're moving the catcher up closer to the plate, You're going to get those catcher's interferences if you reach out too far. It's a kind of a tough spot for them to be in. You're going to get more strike calls, but moments like that, it makes you hate it so much.
1-0 the count to Jimmy Nadai. The power-hitting second baseman waits. The pitch, fouled back. Had a healthy rip there. It's 1-1. Pitch count continuing to climb for Kramkowski. This will be pitch number 50 on the night. Stanford tying the game on the catcher's interference.
Exactly what you want if you're Stanford. Get Kramkowski's pitch count as high as possible and get him out of this game.
The set, the 1-1. Breaking ball strike through the front door. It's 1-2. Nadai didn't like it. That was a really well located pitch. Bottom of the zone, just clipped the corner maybe.
Makes it feel like it's going to hit you in the hip and then drops in on that last second. It is uncomfortable.
1-2 the count. Bases loaded, 1-1 game. The pitch. Swinging a high fly ball to the left, racing towards the line is Sylvester, and he will make the catch, and Stanford leaves them loaded, but they tie the game on the catcher's interference. Through 1.5, Stanford and Arizona tied at 1 here in the 2026 College Baseball Series, and surprise.
3. All Kaiser wanted was a B sample for Sybil. He screwed it up.
'86 College Player of the Year, Chip Hale, back at his alma mater in his 5th season at the University of Arizona. This is the 40th anniversary of the national championship that he won for Jerry Kindle. He took the Wildcats to Omaha a year ago. They hosted a regional 2 years ago and winning the final Pac-12. Won the Big 12 tournament last year. I've known Chip for a long time. He is one of the really fine human beings in baseball, and boy, does he love being at his alma mater.
You have to. How great is that? How fun it is to be at your alma mater. Bring him to the College World Series last year, 44-21, and coming into this season, top 25.
Rowan Myers takes a ball outside, 1-0. Chip played for the great Jerry Kindle. Arizona with a great history. They'll honor the 40th anniversary of that championship team when Kansas State comes to Tucson later this spring. It's also the 50th anniversary of the 1976 national champion, so led by guys like Ron Hasse, and the Arizona Wildcats will celebrate them later this year when Texas Tech is in Tucson. Myers rifles a base hit to center to start the second.
Good start to the season by Myers. Driving that pitch right up the middle, hitting it hard, right on the head. Good fastball down away, and he took it up the middle.
The leadoff base hit in this tie game. Carson McIntyre hits in the 7th spot. McIntyre transfer from Oregon State. Massive power, good speed, very good defender in the outfield. The question is, can he make enough contact? And he takes a strike, 0-1. And you brought it up before, David. This is an Arizona team that last year was pretty well balanced, but they have had, one of the reasons why they've had success the last 2 seasons is because of the influx of resources, as McIntyre bunts through it, on the pitching side. And it was an interesting story. Chip Hale saw what Wake Forest did in 2023. Wake Forest plays in a ballpark that, however small your backyard is, the couch in Winston-Salem is smaller. And yet Wake Forest led the nation in ERA. In the dirt, gets away from Lavin for a second, but not far enough for Myers to advance. It's 1-2. And he said, well, if they can do that at Wake Forest, we can do that at Arizona. So Dave Lawn left to go to TCU. Dave Lawn, one of the great assistant coaches in college baseball history. He's going to retire after this year. And they replaced him with Kevin Vance, who had been at Boston College, and an analyst named John DeRoy. That one ripped full over and caught our third base umpire, Michael Checkerman. It seems like he's okay. He was able to signal it was foul.
Ball's not going to bother him. He's tough.
Trainer from Arizona is going to come out to check on him to make sure he's all right. I think he got him in the side. Checkerman having a chuckle.
Don't rub it. Don't rub it. Don't show anything.
Oh, you can tell.
It hurts so much.
Oh, man, I don't want to give him the, now it's starting to tighten up.
Yeah, that's where you talk. You just talk it through, just breathe it out. But that is tight. That does not feel good.
Oh, no. That didn't feel good any day, but especially when it's a little chilly out, yeah, it's going to burn some. He's all right. All right.
Grit.
So to finish the story on Arizona's pitching, Kevin Vance came in, John DeRoy came in to run their data. Owen Cuff came in as well to help DeRoy. Vance left this last winter to become the head coach at San Diego State, or actually last summer. And then in the last 3 months, DeRoy, who'd been promoted to pitching coach, was hired by the New York Mets organization. And Cuff, just 2 weeks ago, was hired by the Colorado Rockies. Up and in, knocks down McIntyre 2-2. And so they have had to scramble. Sean Kennedy, the pitching coach there, was hired from Iowa. After DeRoy went to the Mets, they are still in the process of hiring a pitching analyst, but get another look at the pitch at McIntyre.
Just trying to defend the umpire.
Yeah.
Can't hit the umpire. Come on.
3-2. So this has been a transition over the last couple of months for Arizona, and their offense is in flux, and their pitching has a new voice at the top, albeit an experienced one in Sean Kennedy. 3-2, called strike 3. McIntyre thought he'd walked. Steve Mattingly thought otherwise, 1 out.
Perfect pitch. Absolutely perfect pitch. When you throw one up and in like he did, you knock the hitter down, and then you're able to get down and away in that spot, there is nothing you can do as hitter. It feels like it was way off the plate because of that ball up and in. Perfect pitch.
1 out, 1 on, tie game. Nate Nowitzki, the designated hitter, bats. Contact hitting, left-handed hitting DH. Throw over to first, the runner dives back. Nowitzki, a sophomore. Tied at 1 here in the bottom of the second. Takes low. It's 1-1. 1-0, excuse me. This has not been the crispest start to this game, I would say.
No. Again, we were very fortunate. Game 1, both teams were very tight, playing good baseball. Almost looked like they were mid-season.
Runner goes, swinging a miss, and out by a mile. There's a runner trying to steal.
Oh boy.
That's it. Myers caught stealing. The catcher thrown out. By 15 feet. 2 outs.
On a curveball that was middle up in the zone. Incredible throw there by Lavin. On the money. He wasn't even close. I don't know if that was maybe a hit and run, something delay steal. I didn't get a look at him when he took off.
I think it was a hit and run is my guess, because Nowitzki swung at the pitch. It was in the middle of the plate. And Nowitzki is a good contact man, so I understand where Arizona's thinking there. I mean, again, we talked about how they're probably going to try and manufacture runs a little bit more. 2-1, ripped foul, first base side, it's 2-2.
Yeah, but that throw, Lavin, wow. He came out gunning, perfect throw on the money. Shortstop sitting and waiting for the run.
Two balls and 2 strikes to the left-handed hitting Nowitzki. Bouncer on 3 hops to first. Sasaki takes it to the bag, and the inning is over. Dugan pitches around the leadoff single. We've played 2. Stanford and Arizona are tied at 1. Third inning tied at 1 in this opener for Arizona and Stanford tonight. Owen Kramkowski has allowed a single run, an unearned run on a catcher's interference, but has fought his command to this point. He faces Brady Reynolds, left-handed hitting junior, and takes the inside of ball 1-0.
52 pitches, 30 strikes, couple walks. He has scattered the runners a little bit and gotten through some of these jams here, but he can't keep that pitch count up or he won't be in this ball game that long.
He's behind 2-0. Kramkowski grew up in the Tucson area. Huge U of A fan. His only offer from a Power 4 school was at U of A. There's a strike. Count 2-1. And the big question with him is, can he command the fastball enough? Because the cutter and the curveball are both really good.
Really good. It's getting ahead of these hitters. He can use those pitches at any time, but does not matter if your fastball isn't in the zone and commanded well. Who cares how good your off speed is, unless you're throwing that at 90%. You still have to establish that the hitter has to see your fastball and respect it. If they don't respect it, they're not going to swing at it. It's a lot of balls.
The 2-2. Jam shot towards the middle and gloved by Morant, the shortstop, and the shift went out. They'll bring up Sasaki, 1-1 game. So Kramkowski is pretty inexperienced still as a pitcher, David. He went to Walden Grove High School, which is in suburban Tucson. He threw only 20 1/3 innings in high school. He suffered what's called an avulsion fracture in his elbow, and that's where a portion of the bone sticks to the ligament as it detaches. Yeah, it sounds as horrible as it is. First pitch is a strike to Sasaki, 0-1. So he only threw 20 1/3 innings, 7 1/3 of those as a senior.
Wow.
Then he made only 3 appearances as a freshman at Arizona before becoming their ace last year. So he has just a handful of innings as Sasaki unloads to deep right field, and Stanford takes the lead. Rintaro with his first of the year. What a blast. It's 2-1 Cardinal.
What a blast indeed. He got every little bit of that ball, that power. He led everybody in the world in high school in Japan in home runs, and he shows that power right there.
They've been waiting for that, and wow. 410 feet, 110 miles an hour off the bat.
No doubter, the moment he touched that, the only thing was to see how far it was going to fly over that bullpen.
That 2-1.
Big boy power.
Boy, that was impressive. I saw a lot of Sasaki last year doing ACC games, and he battled. You never really saw that power. But that's what they were looking for. That's what Stanford was interested in. He just unloaded on that one. 2-1 Stanford. Moran gets jammed and pops it up to the first base side. Caught there by Lira, 2 outs. I mean, that was torched. I don't think he would get over that one for a little while.
You talked about how he was battling against velocity, battling against guys that could throw hard, and that ACC kind of ate him up as a freshman. Right there's no doubt with that. And if he can keep that up, he is going to make a huge impact around college baseball world. He's got a good swing. You can tell he's got a good eye, but man, that power is impressive.
It was a changeup that he hammered, and that one bounced to first. Fair, gloved by Lira, takes it to the bag, and the inning is over. Rintaro Sasaki's first of the year. A prodigious blast to right center field gives Stanford a 2-1 lead through 2.5. Tin Cup McAvoy on the tee, trying to drive the green here in Phoenix. Golf, baseball, weather, all of it. Rintaro Sasaki, he hit a long drive tonight. You see 61 degrees on this cool evening, and his 410-foot blast has given Stanford the lead, 2-1.
Got a little warmer after that ball.
Ooh. There was a vapor trail behind that one. Matisse Morant hits the French-born shortstop. Transferred to U of A last year. Will lead things off for Arizona down a run. Out of Cochise College. Checks and went around on appeal. Yeah, the count 0-1.
There could not be many French-born baseball players.
I was trying to think of that. There have been a few, I believe. You're making me look this up.
Yes, I know it. You can't stop it. It is going to happen.
1-1 the count.
I'm amazed you didn't have the notes on it, because
he
some of these notes, you talk about where you're going to dinner. I saw one earlier. I got to bring it up later once I see it again.
So the best player, or at least the most famous, I don't know if he's the best, but the most famous player to be born in France is Bruce Bochy.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Future Hall of Fame manager. There is a list of 7 big leaguers.
Oh,
that went in the dirt.
That was in the dirt. That was in the grass.
Try to be kind. Here are your 7 big leaguers born in France. Bruce Bochy, Claude Gouzy, who played in 1903 and had 1 at bat. Steve Jeltz, a former Phillies shortstop. Paul Kerschel, Charlie Lee, former Expos pitcher, Duke Markle, and Larry Ressler. That's it. 7 big leaguers born in France.
It got thin quick. That list got thin quick. Bruce Bochy's heavy carrying that list.
I mean, Steve Jeltz had the most plate appearances. He had more than 2,000 plate appearances in his career. I mean, he was actually something that's unusual. He played baseball at the University of Kansas, which now Kansas has started to turn things around there. Dan Fitzgerald's done a great job with the Kansas program, but there are not a whole ton of Kansas big leaguers. At least not in the last little while. Bouncer foul again. The most prominent since Jeltz is probably Sam Freeman or Tom Gorzolani. And now we've gone down a rabbit hole with Kansas baseball history. 3-2 on the ground on the left side and through a base hit. It's a single for the number 9 hitter to start the Arizona third as they trail by a run.
Second hit for Arizona tonight. It's a good little well-hit ground ball through the left side. Hey, man, you got to get it started somehow, but when they're turning over the lineup, that's the most important part of being a 9-hole hitter is just turn over that lineup. Get to the number 1 hole hitter. Hopefully be on base and cause some problems.
Vickers walked and scored in the first. He takes low, 1-0. They are expecting a bunt. J.J. Moran, the third baseman, is playing in. Nick Dugan has struggled to control the counts. He's at 47 pitches with this next one. Nobody out in the third. A strike. They count 1-1. It has not been the most efficient night for either starter. Dugan getting the ball as Stanford tries to figure out their pitching on the fly. He was a reliever for the most part, although one of the reasons he was given the ball to open was as that one rolled through the right side for a base hit. Morant around second. He's going to head for third. Marsh with the throw, and it's offline. Arizona has him in the corners with nobody out.
Great running there to get to third base. Good read through that right side. It was slow enough. It was decently hit over there, but then it slowed down big time once it hit the grass. Good read by the runner getting to third base. And again, good read by Bickers by not going to second base. He would have probably gotten thrown out if he would have tried to go for two. A lot of times you try to push that and get to second base, and he read it well.
Going to get a mound visit here as everybody will go. But Dave Esker took Nick Dugan and put him into the Friday role, at least for this week. So he was going back and watching some of the 2022 team that he had that went to Omaha that had a ton of star power on it. And for Game 3 of that Super Regional, a game that they won at home in part because Texas' center fielder lost a ball in the lights, he was the starting pitcher in that game. Dugan went into the fourth inning, pitched well against a tough Texas team that had been to Omaha the 2 previous years, which was 2023, and he was very excited about how he looked in that big game, and that's what kind of led him to turning to Nick Dugan to start. He's going to need some more offense from Rentaro. If he's going to get a win tonight, he's also going to need to get out of this jam. Maddox Mihalakis will bat. Left-handed hitting third baseman. Takes the ball 1-0. 2-1 Stanford. Bottom 3. Outside. And the count 2-0.
I'll say this, if he's able to get out of this position with only 1 run, that'll be huge for Stanford and huge for Dugan, letting the coach know, hey, I can do this. I can handle these situations. Doesn't matter what my pitch count is or how many guys are on base. I can pitch myself out of jams. Early in the season, that's the things you want to see. I don't need to see an ace out there day one. I want to see somebody who gets into trouble and can get out of it, control their emotions and not be up the mound, trying so hard to get out of everything. Just handle yourself, handle your business.
Well, Dugan has been a guy that's pitched in some big spots for the Stanford team over the last several years. And what misses in the count 3-1 to Mihalakis. He had 3 saves in 2024. Made 10 starts that year. 2023, 24 appearances, mostly out of the pen. That one lined up the alley in left center field on the run. Sell makes the catch for out number 1. Tagging coming home as the runner from third, and Arizona's tied the game. Grant scores on the sac fly, but that was a nice running catch by Brock Sell. That could have been extra bases.
Would have been extra bases for sure. The only thing that might have stopped it was the runner on first was trying to read that, sit right before second base and read the left fielder, losing his hat, although running as fast as he can to get that ball. Good play by the left fielder. You forget about the runner at that point. Who cares? They're going to score. Just hold that runner from getting to second.
Brock Sell showing off his athleticism, the freshman. And here's Andrew Kane, the powerful right fielder. 2-2 the score as he takes a breaking ball strike. It's 0-1. But if you're Dugan and you can get out of this, allowing just that 1 run with first and third and nobody out, I think you'll feel really good about yourself. Chop foul, the count 0-2.
Kane had a great freshman year, batting .290. Stepped back a little bit last year, .247. Slugging went down as well. Homers went up just a little bit, but looking for this year as a nice rebound year. Jump those numbers back up again, and they'll be a huge part of this lineup.
He rolls it to the right side. To his left is Nadai. He'll only have a play at first, 2 outs. Vickers the second. And here's Tony Lira.
Sadly, he didn't want me to buy another iPhone 2 years ago.
Lira hitting in the cleanup spot, first baseman. Waiting for him to break out. Sophomore. From Sacramento takes in the dirt, 1-0. did not play last year, went and played in Mankato in the Northwoods League last summer, excuse me. I have high expectations for him. I mean, this is his first career game as a redshirt freshman or as a sophomore, and he is sitting in the middle of the lineup as a cleanup man.
That is tough to do. That means that you have a lot of faith in somebody. First game, basically, of their college career, and they're right in the middle of your lineup. You have to believe in this stuff. Again, these guys are showing their abilities last year, showing in the fall, and even before the season started. You earn those jobs, but you got to keep those jobs by continuing it. Right here, that would be a big spot for Arizona.
He was around the program last year, but again, did not play as a freshman. Now in this spot, he fouls it off to the right, not a play. A little late on that fastball to count 2-2.
Definitely late on it. If that net wasn't there, somebody's wearing that down that right field line. Huge pitch for Dugan. 2 outs, 2 balls, 2 strikes. A runner won't be moving, but they're going to be trying to get as good of a jump as they can get.
2-2 the count. Go ahead run at second with 2 outs and a pickoff play to second. Vickers diving back safely. He made a great read, scoring the first run of the game for Arizona. So clearly a smart base runner. Not really a base stealer when he was at UWM. Not that he'd be trying to steal third with 2 outs. Swing and a miss. Lira down on strikes, and the inning is over. Neolakis' sacrifice fly ties the game. We played 3. Stanford and Arizona tied at 2. It's opening night. We are to the top of the 4th inning. 2-2 the score. Stanford and Arizona. Alex Mikalakis' sacrifice fly tying the game for Arizona. And now Owen Kramkowski will try to post a 0 for Arizona. Stanford will send Ethan Hott to the plate to lead things off. It'll be 8-9-1 for the Cardinal. Hott takes ball 1 outside. Hott went in the lineup around the middle of the season last year, just a couple weeks into ACC play, playing center field after Charlie Bates was injured, and did a really nice job. Had a very good season in his first extended action. He is playing at home. He is a Phoenix native. His home is listed as Paradise Valley, so he might be your neighbor.
Might be right down the street.
Can I ask him where his house is? What's your address?
I actually got to see him play his senior year at Chaparral. Good ball player. First thing everyone says is, oh, you got to watch him. He's going to Stanford. You got to see him play. Absolutely. And yeah, boy can play.
He's a good defender, runs the bases really well. Really nice bottom of the lineup hitter. Checks and takes outside in the count 2-1.
Well, it's nice when you have a player like Bates who got hurt, and you have Ethan Hop step up and play in that spot. You need players like that. Every single team in the country needs guys to be able to step up. You're going to lose somebody, and he stepped up, and now he's starting here.
And he draws a leadoff walk to start the 4th. And he is a threat to run. Stanford's already stolen 3 bases tonight. And here's Brock Sell, his second collegiate plate appearance. He walked his first time.
Not the start again you want if you're Kramkowski in this inning. A lot of pitches coming into it. 66 now. Another base on ball. That's his 3rd tonight. He's already given up 4 hits. Not the inning you want to start with.
First pitch is a strike. It's 0-1 to Sell. Brock Sell, very highly touted recruit. One of the 2 Brocks in their freshman recruiting class. That Brock Kettleson, two-way player who will also see a lot of time this year.
Hot at first base is showing run. He was trying to get a jump, trying to time him up. You see this back leg was turning in, trying to get a little jump in there. He might be just showing something, but he's got the legs. He can move.
Not going, and that went through the right side, a base hit. Hot to second. They'll hold there as Keene gets it in, and Stanford has the first two aboard with nobody out in the fourth in this tie game. Well, both teams have had lots of opportunities to this point. They've each tallied a pair. And now to the top of the order with Tatum Marsh, an infield single his last trip. He's also flied to center. He's starting to get some light tossing in the Arizona bullpen.
One night, 4 winemakers limited to
Every inning, Kremkowski's been in a little trouble having to pitch out of it. This is a lot of stressful pitches really early in the season. I know we talked about it. You've had a little bit longer to get ready for the season than normal, but it's been a lot of pitches that are in a tough spot. You don't want that early.
The command has come and gone for Kremkowski. He's ahead of Marsh, 0-1. Foul away, and it's 0-2. Now he really needs a strikeout here.
Something needs to be said too about Kremkowski's fastball's been up to 97, but today we've only really seen it 93. We're at 90 miles an hour here in the fourth inning. A lot of pitches in. Natural that it's going to drop off a little bit, but he hasn't had that electric fastball that he has had in the past. And he's been having to pitch with that fastball, slider, and cutter.
Marsh in the air to center. McIntyre with plenty of room to make the catch. Tagging and heading to third is Hot. There's one out. And here's Charlie Bates. Bates looking at his head coach Dave Esker for instructions as Kremkowski gets ready to face the shortstop. Bates a single and a single and a race on a fielder's choice in the first. And then reached on catcher's interference, which allowed Stanford to score their first run of the game in the second. Runners at the corners, one out. Shift on. First pitch. Upstairs, it's 1-0. Dave Esker, you see out of the dugout flashing signs to his base runner so they can see what kind of play they're putting on first and third. Have them written on their belt in what looks like a fanny pack. Bates fouls it back. Count 1-1.
Tell when things are tough, Kremkowski keeps going back to that cutter. He trusts it, he believes in it, and it will kind of be his get out of jam pitch as the season goes on. I feel like it's cheating to have a fanny pack with all your signs on it. It doesn't feel right.
Runner goes from first, swinging a drive to right, going back on it is Kane, can't get it. One hop up against the fence. Stanford will take the lead. Racing around third and coming home to score is the runner from first, Sell, on a triple from Charlie Bates. And Stanford takes a 4-2 lead in the fourth.
That ball was absolutely hammered over the right fielder. Hit a line drive. It was not a fly ball. That was a line drive over the right fielder, Kane. You see the swing here? Sat on a cutter and just hammered that ball. The runner at first had to hold up at second base to see if he's going to catch it, and still was able to score off of a big bounce off that wall.
4-2 the score, and Chip Hale is going to come out and looks like take the ball from his ace, Owen Kremkowski. 3 1/3 innings from the right-hander tonight as he struggled with his command, and Chip Hale is going into the bullpen here. Charlie Bates' 2-run triple has given Stanford the lead, and they have a man at third with one out in the top of the fourth inning.
Not injured. Stanford scored, whacking his pitches too hard, and they knocked him out of the game by scoring 2 winning runs.
Evan Brandt on for Arizona, making his Wildcat debut, his Division I debut. National Junior College first-team All-American a year ago at Weatherford College. And inherits a man at third, one-out situation on the top of the fourth. 2 runs home for Stanford on the Charlie Bates triple in the infield in against Jimmy Nadeye, and first pitch misses high. It's 1-0. Nadeye reached on a fielder's choice and flied to left. And his 2 trips today. 4-2 Stanford. They have an insurance run at third with 1 out. Swing and a miss. It's 1-1.
Showing good fastball. I know it's low 90s, but that ball is definitely missing the pads. They're, not all fastballs are created equal. It doesn't matter the velocity sometimes, but he is missing Jimmy Nadeye's bat with a low 90s fastball. It's good.
1-1. Missed outside, 2-1. Nadeye, the leading home run hitter for Stanford last year. The 2-1. Swinging a fly ball to left center field. McIntyre under it, tagging from third is Bates. McIntyre makes the catch. Throw comes into the cutoff man. That's a sacrifice fly for Nadeye, and Stanford pushes the advantage to 5-2.
Good tag up and score there. Stanford has to be happy with how they're swinging the bat. There's nothing like getting the other team's ace out of the ball game early. They worked counts. They were not swinging at bad pitches. You never saw Stanford getting out of their comfort zone. They were every single bat felt like professional bats. They were never overmatched at all by Kremkowski. I know it's early in the season, but Stanford looked really good at the plate all night.
A run in the second, a run in the third, and 3 here so far in the fourth as Reynolds bats. And rolls one to second, and the inning is over. Charlie Bates, a 2-run triple, scoring on the Jimmy Nadeye sac fly. That's given a Stanford 5-2 lead over Arizona as we head to the bottom of the fourth. Five-2 Stanford as we start the bottom of the fourth inning. Nick Dugan now pitching with a pretty sizable lead because of the 3-run fourth inning. Trying to shut things down for Stanford, get them a win on opening night. Bo Sylvester will lead off, starting at left field for Arizona. First pitch. Hammered down the left field line and foul. It's 0-1.
Sylvester is ready for that off-speed pitch. Throw it slower.
Sylvester getting the start in left field because of the injury to Easton Breifogel, one of the top players for U of A. He has had a number of injuries over the course of his career at Arizona, but a really important player for them, and things were looking good until he got hurt diving across home plate in one of their last scrimmages. It's not serious. He's just dinged up enough that he can't go tonight. If he appears at all this weekend, it'll be as a pinch hitter or a DH, it seems. But they need to get Breifogel back in the lineup, and Sylvester, who's a catcher, gets to start in left field. That's not the only injury that Arizona had. Their All-American closer, Tony Pluta, underwent Tommy John surgery last week. Pluta, who's the top reliever in the nation a year ago, a major reason why they made it to Omaha. The 5'7" right-hander, an engineering major. That one dumped down the right field line, and they'll get all the way to the fence. Sylvester on his way to second, and he'll slam on the brakes there with a leadoff double. But Pluto lost for the year for U of A as well. And Arizona now trying to come back down 3.
It's how you get it started, though. You get a guy on base, you get a ball down the line, you take what you're given, drive down the line, and the catcher, playing left field, did a good little job there. But how valuable it is to have players that can play multiple positions, right? A catcher being able to play left field, you don't really hear that too often. That's so much value.
Here's the catcher playing catcher tonight, Roman Myers, who singled and was caught stealing in his first plate appearance. Bounce foul. Chappelle had to skip out of the way of it, coaching at third. It's 0-1. (5-2) Stanford, bottom 4. Swing and a miss. Good breaking ball that time. It's 0-2.
Dugan's got great off speed, right? He's got a good fastball, lively, not overpowering, but good lively fastball. But a great curveball, great off speed. He can move the ball around, right? And so, yes, he hasn't had the best night as far as pitch count wise. But each time he's gotten into a little bit of a jam, he can go to a lot of different pitches. It hasn't been pretty, but it's been getting the job done without a doubt. He's given Stanford a chance to win this game.
He hasn't flinched when he's been in trouble, that's for sure. And that's been a big reason why he got the ball tonight to begin with. That went in the dirt, the count 2-2 to Myers. Starting to be a little bit of stirring in the Stanford pen. Nobody's up and throwing yet, but you would have to think that Dugan has been largely a reliever the last couple of years, as soon as he's starting to get loose. If they can get him twice through the order with the lead, I think they would probably be thrilled by that.
Oh, they'd be very happy with that. It's going to be tough to get him twice through the order. He's going to have to step up here and get some outs.
He gets a swing and a miss by Myers there on a high breaking ball, 1 out.
That's how you start forward. But you have almost that entire bullpen up and moving around, just moving around. You have somebody on the mound. But they would definitely want him to get through this lineup to get the next 2 outs. And that'd be a win for him. That'd definitely be a big win through 4 innings. Your day 1 starter. It doesn't have to be pretty. Just got the job done.
Carson McIntyre struck out looking his first trip. Takes outside a ball. It's 1-0. McIntyre.
Oh, wow. The Netherlands House of Representatives
Waits and hits it back through the middle. A base hit. Coming around third is Sylvester. He will come home to score. An RBI single for the Peoria, Arizona native, and it's a 5-3 game. So Arizona answering back with a base hit.
Answering right back, and this is what you do. When you get behind, you gave up 3 runs last inning. What you have to do as an offense, get out there and cause some problems, right? Get some guys on base, get a run in. You don't have to tie the ball game up right now, but you have to stop that Stanford momentum of taking that 3-run lead, and they've done a wonderful job of getting back in this ball game with this.
Thomas Eager, the pitching coach for Stanford, is going to come out to visit with Dugan. As the right-hander begins to get loose. You're a Central California native. And starting to get some action in the bullpen. That's Cohen Gomez, the sophomore right-hander, is beginning to toss. Gomez begins to get loose, and Eager checking to see whether or not he's ready, and he is going to go to the pen here. So a pitching change coming up. Stanford leads 5-3 at Arizona as the tying run at the plate with one out in the bottom of the fourth inning. It's opening night from Surprise, Arizona, and the college baseball series.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Cohen Gomez, a sophomore from Anaheim, Hills, California, is on. 7 appearances a year ago. Really struggled, giving up 14 hits and 11 runs in that time. But he takes over for Nick Dugan here in the fourth inning. Stanford leading 5-3. Tying run at the plate, Nate Nowitzki, who grounded to first his first trip for Arizona. First pitch. A strike. It's 0-1. Certainly has not lacked for action in this game so far, David, but it's not been the cleanest game, at least from a pitching standpoint. In fact, a rarity with Gomez getting ahead in the count.
Not the cleanest, not the prettiest. It's getting it done a little bit. Gomez, while giving up the 14 hits, did show a little propensity for strikeouts. 7 strikeouts in those 7 innings pitched. So he does have some strikeout stuff, but you know what? There's a big jump from early years at a program to later on.
Up the alley in right center field by Nowitzki. He'll get down for a base hit. He's going to end up at second, heading to third. Is the runner McIntyre, and Arizona has the tying runs in scoring position with 1 out in the fourth. Just a shot up the alley off the bat of Nowitzki.
That's how you welcome a new pitcher into the ballgame.
On an 0-2 pitch nonetheless. And now here's Morant, who singled back in the third and scored on a sacrifice fly by Mikalakis. Tying runs in scoring position. First pitch, breaking ball high. It's 1-0.
When you come into a ball game and you're a reliever and you're facing that first bat, you get ahead 0-2. It doesn't matter who you're really facing. 0-2 should be an out guaranteed. Yes, sometimes you'll get a dribbler through, you'll get a couple hit the ground a couple times, a ground ball up the middle. That's one thing. You cannot be giving up a line drive on an 0-2 count. Those should be strikeout pitches and nothing less. You have to tell yourself, strikeout pitch, or that's it.
Well, now he's behind Morant 2-0. Infield pinched in at the corners. Morant with a big cut. It's 2-1. Tease Moran, the number 9 hitter, trying to get this game even. He fouls it back. It's 2-2. A little tardy on the fastball. You think he goes to it again?
I go to it again. I go up or I go in a little bit. Again, he has shown his bigger off-speed pitch, bigger curveball. He might go to that if he believes in it, if he trusts it. And after giving up that 0-2 line drive, he might go back to that curveball too. Yep.
Called strike 3. He did. It was clear that Morant was looking for the fastball, but he locks him up for the second out.
It's a good pitch by Gomez. Get it out here and no one will care you gave up that 0-2 hit.
Dickens has singled, walked, and scored a run for Arizona in his debut with the Wildcats. The UW-Milwaukee transfer, batting with the tying runs in scoring position and 2 outs. First pitch from Gomez. Down low, 1-0. Now a chance for Gomez to get out of this inning without any damage done. Dugan chased after Arizona plated a run. Outside, 2-0.
Oh.
Vickers certainly does not seem like a guy who's going to offer up many pitches off the plate.
No. No, and he shouldn't. Especially in this situation. It's got to be a perfect pitch to swing that bat.
2-0. Hit through the left side, a base hit. 1 run is home. Rounding third and heading to the plate. The runner, he is safe. The ball dropped. Scoring is Nowitzki, and we're tied at 5.
Good throw by the left fielder. I am surprised that Chip sent him from third. I thought he was going to hold him up. The left fielder got the ball early, made a great strong throw to the catcher, and just off a little bit. You can see it here, just off a little bit. And having to go in, knock that ball out. He would have been out if he didn't drop that ball.
Brock Sell, the left fielder, the freshman, has been very impressive both at the plate and defensively so far. Making that throw home, but a 2-run single for Bickers has tied this game at 5. And here's Mikalakis, who delivered a sacrifice fly his last trip. Down low, ball 1. This is starting to feel like it's going to have that 15-12 feel to it, doesn't it?
Yes, yes it does.
It's got a little Pac-12 after dark to it. Swing and a miss. It's a 1-1. These former Pac-12 denizens.
Gomez has some decent off-speed pitches, has some good stuff. He's getting in trouble by getting behind the count. You see when he's ahead of the count, he has some swing and miss pitches. But he has to get ahead more often.
1-2. Change is pretty good.
Yes. Change, good curveball. When we've seen that as on the strikeout, it's really the fastball that's been getting him in trouble.
5-5 the score. Bottom of the 4th. Count evens at 2-2 to Mikalakis. See nobody getting up in the Stanford pen as of right now. Just a couple of guys staying loose on this chilly night. At 2-2, Mikalakis checks and takes low, and the count is full. That'll put Bickers on the move with 2 outs. Sasaki will play behind the runner at first. Runner goes, a 3-2, bounce to first and foul. Fast Rintaro, but a foul ball.
These are the situations that Stanford's going to be in where they have to find players and pitchers that can step up. The first man out of the bullpen, they're still looking for it. The man at the end of the game, they're still looking for it. There's a lot of opportunities here for somebody to step up and earn a job. Gomez right now has struggled a little bit. We're going to see a lot of this and see who can step up and earn this.
Runner goes, swing and a miss. Mikalakis down on strikes and the inning is over. But Arizona answers Stanford with a 3-spot of their own. He's trying to get to barn burner territory here. Stanford and Arizona tied at 5 as we head to the 5th. Shriners Children's College Classic going on in Arlington. Third game of the day going on. Ryder Helfrich from Arkansas has homered twice in the game tonight for the Razorbacks. It's not even the best performance there by a catcher, as Colin Barcy for Vanderbilt hit 3 home runs. Vanderbilt's game today. It's not even the best performance by a hitter today. Rintaro Sasaki homered his last trip. That's not the best performance. Tice Armstrong of Baylor, 3 grand slams today for the Baylor Bears against New Mexico.
Is that good?
New Mexico State, excuse me. That seems good. 12 RBI day. You're getting into Mark Whitten territory. 2-2. Rintaro drives it down the left field line. That's going to get down and get into the corner. It's going to be a double for Rintaro Sasaki, who's homered and doubled today. Took that fastball and went the other way with it.
Big boy can move a little bit. Getting into second base, he was on his horse. But he took that fastball, 93-mile-an-hour fastball. You see it kind of middle way down the line. Hey man, you don't always have to pull him over the bullpen to get a hit. Take him down the line too.
So the go-ahead run in scoring position with nobody out. There has not been a 1-2-3 inning as of yet in this game. In the second, Arizona set the minimum to the plate, but that's because Roman Myers got caught stealing as J.J. Moran swings and misses the first pitch 0-1. It has been an offensive affair. Moran scored the first Stanford run in the second. He bounces this one to short. Moran will throw him out. Oh, good scoop on the backhand by Lira, 1 out. Boy, that seemed like a routine play, and I don't know if his footwork just got messed up a little bit, but Lira bailed him out with a good play.
Yeah, sometimes it's just checking that runner back. So when you see him get the ground ball, he's going to check the runner back at second, make sure he's not running. And sometimes that just throws you off a little bit. At that point, you look back at first base, you're like, ooh, I got to throw this. And you rush it, it just throws you off a little bit.
Luke Lavin hits. Lavin 0 for 2 as he takes inside, 1-0. Lavin getting a start behind the plate. He takes way inside, 2-0. Stanford 2 years ago had a losing record. They won 19 games. Last year they were over 500 overall, but finished at the bottom of the ACC in their first year in that conference. That is not a place you're used to seeing Stanford finish very often. Strike. It's 2-1.
Well, I'm still not used to seeing them finish anywhere in the ACC.
It was their first go-round. The 2-1 to Lavin. It's 3-1. I mean, you can't be used to seeing Arizona in the Big 12 then either. I mean, that was their first year there last year.
It all feels wrong. Bring back the old school Pac-12.
Well, the Pac-12 will return next year. Oregon State will be a part of that. So will Washington State. Those will be your 2 legacy schools. If that went outside, Lavin reaches. Stanford with 2 aboard and 1 out in the 5th in this tie game. And bring up Ethan Hahn.
That Pac-12 will be a good baseball conference.
It'll be a very good baseball conference.
Not really strong in a whole lot of the other sports, but great baseball conference. So it's good for Oregon State.
I mean, they should have a couple of decent football programs, right? They should have some decent basketball. It's just going to be more of a mid-major, or at least feel like that, than what it has been traditionally. Dallas Baptist will be joining the conference in baseball. They are an outstanding baseball program. Dan Hefner, the head coach there, does a tremendous job. Boise State, Colorado State, Fresno State, San Diego State, Utah State, Texas State, and basically if you have state in your name, you have a good chance. Oh, and Gonzaga will be joining in basketball. So
the Pac Mountain West Conference
with some WCC sprinkled in.
Yes.
And a little Sun Belt. Texas State's in the Sun Belt.
I mean, again, decent basketball, decent football, really good baseball.
Bouncer foul again. Yeah, all of those schools, and with the exception of Boise State, which, Boise State brought back baseball in 2020 only to have COVID shut down their season, and then they canceled the program again. But Fresno State has some great baseball history, including a national championship, the only 4th seed to ever win the national title. Rounded to 3rd, that could be 2 to 2nd for 1. Vickers to 1st, not in time. Fielder's choice is hot as safe and will bring up Sell. 5-5 game.
Were they a 4 seed in a regional?
Fresno State was a 4 seed in the regional.
Wow.
They won the national championship in 2008. 2008. That was Tanner Shepard, I believe, was their star, and he was out for the postseason that year.
I didn't know they were a 4 seed. That's incredible.
They were a 4 seed when they won it.
It's so hard to do in baseball.
Gonzaga's got a good baseball program. San Diego State, I think, with Kevin Vance, the former U of A pitching coach there, is going to be very good. Sal fouls it back. It's 0-1. And Texas State, Steve Trout is a terrific coach and has done a really good job with the Bobcats. He had them in regionals a couple of years. In fact, they almost eliminated Stanford at Sunken Diamond in Game 7. They had a lead at Game 7 of a regional in the 9th inning. Swing and a miss. It's 0-2.
Texas State ended my starting career. I was a starter until I faced Texas State. It ended my starting career. Put me in the bullpen.
We have a very Texas State crew here. There's a lot of both our director and our graphics producer are Texas State alums, which means that they have spent more time in San Marcos than anybody needs to.
It's Texas State or Southwest Texas State? Which one?
1-2 the count to Brock Sell. 2 outs, runners at the corners. 5-5 game, top of the 5th. Sell lines it. Oh, what a pick! And a fine play by the second baseman Vickers to retire Sell and get Arizona out of the inning. Stanford leaves him at the corners, and look at this leathered larceny.
Happy birthday. Great job. We'll take the outs.
Halfway through this one, we are tied at 5. Tomorrow afternoon, the only regular season matchup in college baseball of teams that played in Omaha last year. The Arizona Wildcats and Oregon State Beavers will meet. Catch that game at 2 o'clock Arizona time right here on Flow Sports. And then tomorrow night, Michigan will take on Stanford. Andrew Kane leads off for Arizona in this 5-5 game. Takes a strike from Cohen Gomez. It's 0-1. Arizona with 1 in the first, Stanford with 1 in the second, 1 in the third. Arizona tied it in the third, and then the two traded 3 spots in the 4th inning. Bouncer foul. I'm not going to ask you to do math on the fly. I'll just tell you it's 5-5.
I don't know who you're going to ask there, whether fans, everyone listening, or me, but I was not ready for that answer.
I assume that there are 2 things that fans are not doing at home: scoring or adding.
There is definitely someone out there with a scorebook and adding.
If you are scoring this game at home while you're watching, please tweet proof to us.
At the DA53. There we go.
Mike_Farron. You can pick one or both of us. But I would love to see if you're actually scoring the game at home. Fouled off to the left and out of play. Count remains 1-2 to Andrew Kane. Leadoff man for Arizona. Here in the bottom of the 5th inning. He takes outside, 2-2. Kane, not a very fast guy. It was interesting listening to Chip Hale talk about how good his instincts are in the outfield. And I wonder how much of that is because he may not be fast, but he's athletic. And he is the all-time leading scorer in basketball at Ironwood Ridge High School near Tucson. And he hits it high in the air, deep to right, racing over and making the catch as the right fielder March. He had a lot of ground to cover. And he is a terrific defender. That's not an easy play as high as that one was hitting the air, 1 out.
He was running forever to go get that ball. You see the highlight here, big curveball. Watch him running. That is not an easy play. And he was covering up so much ground.
Stanford's right fielder, Tanner March, played left field last year. He made one of the most incredible game-saving catches you will ever see in a game against Virginia. Bottom of the 9th inning with the winning run at third. Laid out to make this unbelievable catch in the alley. Stanford ended up losing that game, but Marsh is just a tremendous defensive outfielder. Tony Lira struck out his last trip, and that one missed. It's 1-1. In the dirt. 2 balls and a strike to Lira. Tony Lira in the cleanup spot, 0 for 2 today. And the count evens at 2-2. Upset in Gainesville tonight as the Blazers of UAB defeated the University of Florida in 10 innings, 9-7. There gets a piece. Been a few upsets. We had one earlier today here with Michigan defeating Oregon State 5-3. Evan Hager in his Michigan debut, the transfer from Houston. Dad played for Michigan. A game-tying 2-run single in the 6th and a go-ahead 2-run single in the 8th. A couple of huge hits. Swing and a miss. Lira down on strikes for the second time, 2 outs.
And Michigan earlier playing stellar defense.
Oh, boy, did they ever.
Big question mark going into the season. We wasn't sure what they're going to get, and they looked perfect on that defense.
Some of the other upsets from today on opening day. Listen, there's a lot of games to go, right? But Houston beat Wake Forest 8-2. They knocked out Blake Morningstar, a potential first-round draft pick in the 4th inning. First pitch misses low to Bo Sylvester. It's 1-0. Michigan State beat number 8 Louisville. Mentioned the Michigan win. TCU, not an upset. They 10th ranked Horned Frogs held on to beat Vanderbilt 5-4 despite 3 homers from Connor Barksey.
Is that scattering? Do you say you scattered 3 home runs?
You have the solo shots, yeah. You give them up like that. Solo homers can't beat you, right? Isn't that what everybody told you? Santa Barbara beat number 20 Southern Miss today, too. And Xavier Esker, the son of Stanford coach Dave Esker, a pair of hits in that win. Called strike, 2-2 now to Sylvester.
Speaking of Esker, he's looking for a reliever to be able to come in and get the job done. He's giving Cohen Gomez an opportunity here after the first inning struggle to cement himself in a little bit of a better role.
But getting the clean inning has to help. He's trying to post the first 1-2-3 inning for either team today. Just missed with that breaking ball, and the count is full. He's got the pitch mix. All 3 of his pitches are pretty good. He's run the count full to Sylvester, though. 2 outs. Nobody on. 5-5 game, last of the 5th. Called strike 3. 92-mile-an-hour heater locks up Sylvester and 4 strikeouts for Gomez in an inning and 2/3. Man paints.
Perfect pitch.
We head to the 6th, tied at 5.
They put a question mark on what he did.
See what's coming up on Flow Sports over the next couple of weeks. Next 2 weekends, the Amegy Bank College Baseball Classic Series, in Arlington, Texas. See all of the events coming up. It is a huge first 3 weekends of tournaments on Flow Sports every year, including this, the College Baseball Classic. The Shriners Children's College Showdown is going on right now in Arlington, Texas, and we have a new pitcher on for Arizona. Nolan Stranero is up. Senior right-hander from Raleigh, North Carolina. He is a transfer from Elon College, Phoenix. Stranero will face Tatum Marsh in the top of the order for Stanford in this 5-5 game, and his first pitch misses high. It's 1-0. Marsh, Charlie Bates, Jimmy Nadai. Bates has really been the offensive star so far today for Stanford as Marsh fouls it away. A couple of hits, runs scored, 3 runs knocked in. Taro Sasaki has a solo home run and a double for Stanford as well, 1-1. Marsh tied up and fouls it off to the right.
Strand the arrow may start a little bit for Arizona, may relieve, may short, may long. He's one of those guys you're going to have to find out what he is. Elon, he did a little bit of everything, a lot of starts, 14 starts out of 16 appearances. But they're going to want him to take care of a lot of jobs. He's going to have to earn them, though.
Hey, strikes out a tough customer in Tatum Marsh to start the 6th, one gone. And here is Charlie Bates. See Marsh. He was not looking for a heater.
Not expecting that. Got a bunch of off speed early in the count, and that fastball definitely, you see how late that swing was, surprised him.
Bates tripled home 2 and scored on a sac fly his last trip. The sophomore shortstop grew up going to Sunken Diamond, now taking over as the shortstop there with Timo Becerra moving on. Becerra got his degree from Stanford last year, and then he was a graduate transfer. He had been such a steady force at short, but Bates was the guy last year that you knew was going to take over and had a chance to star. Having the count here 2-0. Huge hole in the left side of the big shift on.
Huge shift.
Checks and takes low. It's 3-0.
You don't see that too often in college. A lot of times in college, guys will take base hits down the line, will bunt it, and don't care. See it a lot more in the pros, but they are giving away the entire left side of the baseball field.
3-0 the count to Bates. The pitch. 3-1. And ball 4, a 1-out walk. Go ahead, run it first with 1 out. Now you're starting to get into the hefty hitters. Jimmy Nadai, a sacrifice fly his last time.
Nadai still going to get that first hit of the season. You know he has it in him. A lot of talent, a lot of pop. Can kind of do everything with the bat. Just a matter of time before he gets that first hit.
Stanford's going to play Oregon State on Sunday, and Jimmy Nadai's younger brother, Josh, is a freshman on the Oregon State team. That went way outside. It's 1-0. And, well, that may just seem like a cool story on the surface. They are Australian. Jimmy Nadai came to play junior college ball in the U.S. Josh, I think you had said you had a chance to meet Josh when he was...
A couple years ago, he came on a camp with Ryan Roland Smith, the hyphen, right? He came out here from Australia and got to meet him, got to hang out with him and his family for a couple days. A lot of fun. They're just, you know what's so neat about those guys? They came out here and they're so excited just to be here. Just an opportunity to be seen. And they end up at 2 of the best baseball universities there is.
Throw it to first and scrambling back is Bates. Stanford's already stolen 3 bases in this game tonight. Runner goes. Pitch swung on and missed, and no throw from Myers. Give it 4 stolen bases for the Cardinals. I mean, this is a team that did not run at all, really, last year. They were down towards the bottom in the nation in stolen base attempts. And they have successfully stolen 4 this evening. And now the go-ahead run in scoring position with 1 out. Nadai takes outside and they count 2-1. And listen, Bates is a smart enough player, David, that I would not be surprised if he got a read, if he took off for third. You want to get that man to third with less than 2 outs if you can. This would be a golden opportunity to do that. Not going, the 2-1, checks, takes it, gets away, and he takes off on the dirt ball and makes it to third.
Read that ball the moment out of the pitcher's hand down. What you're trying to do at second base is read the ball. So if you see that ball heading down, you take it a couple extra big jumps to third base. That catcher just rolls off right to his side, and you take off for third. It's a skill that you need to learn as a base runner. See the ball down, run.
Infield back in the 6th in this tie game. 3-1, way outside, ball 4. Back-to-back walks for Stranero, and it puts him at the corners for Brady Reynolds. Six walks tonight for Arizona pitching, and we're only in the 6th inning. And the left-hander, Patrick Morris, getting loose. Chandler native from out of Western Kentucky. Brady Reynolds, an infield single his first trip. He's 1 for 3. Runners get their leads from the corners. First pitch, breaking ball upstairs. It's 1-0. Boy, this is a big spot for Stanford. They can take control of this game with a big hit here.
And I don't expect Nati to be hanging around first base for too long. He's too good of a base runner and too good of a ball player to be hanging out there.
Not going. That one outside. 2-0.
And now I might actually just let him hang out.
Well, Brady Reynolds is a dangerous hitter. The cleanup man has run into a 2-0 count.
Let him take a hack. Give him the green light.
There's no breeze at this moment. Just a little light zephyr blowing in right center. The 2-0. And he hammers it down the right field line, but hooking foul.
Nati gave a fake there. Got some people to jump and say runner. But Reynolds is all over that fastball. All over that pitch.
2-1 the count. Here's the set. The pitch. Called strike. It's 2-2. Now maybe the biggest pitch of the night so far for Arizona pitching. 2-2 with runners at the corners and 1 out in the 5-5 game. Throw over to first and Nati back. You have to be very careful here if you're Arizona. Stranero needs a strikeout or ground ball at someone. 2-2. Runner goes. Fouled off to the left and out of play. 2-2 with 1 out and running. Not a huge surprise, I don't think, David. The way that Stanford has run the bases tonight. Start getting those even 2-strike counts to put somebody in motion.
Yeah, they've been running all night long on these Arizona pitchers. They have been holding well. Don't stop now.
Runner goes. Pitch. Breaking ball in the dirt. And Nati steals second, standing up. 5th stolen base of the game. There was one thing that we talked to Chip Hale about this week. He said that had been a point of emphasis was their pitchers trying to hold base runners, that was a bigger focus. And now it is something that they are implementing on the fly here. That's not a team that had been very concerned about base runners. They also had a great catcher in Guzman, but now this is a big spot. 3-2. Foul away.
That's something you can control. There's a lot of things you can't control as a pitcher. Control the controllables, right? Be quick to the plate. Be quick enough to give your catcher a chance to throw him out. You don't have to be perfect. Change your timing. It's not the difficult thing to do, but as a pitcher, you have to focus on it if you're going to be good at it.
The 3-2 again. Reynolds on the ground to second. Will give Stanford the lead. As Pickers throws him out, an RBI ground out. Bates scores, and it's 6-5 Cardinal.
Getting the job done any way you can. A great job of hitting. Don't try to hit home run. Don't worry about it. Take the run. They're giving it to you. Hit it to the right side and just take that run.
2 outs, man at third, 6-5 Stanford, and here's Rintaro Sasaki, a homer and a double tonight. Slugging first baseman, having a very good opener to his sophomore season. First pitch. Breaking ball in the dirt, 1-0. Sasaki's dad is a prominent high school coach in Japan. He had a rather famous pupil named Shohei Ohtani.
The pitcher?
No, the DH.
Oh,
You think of the other Shohei.
The other guy.
The 1-0. Skied foul, third base side. Michalaka's over. Does he have room? Oh. No, not quite. Count 1-1. That was nearly straight up. The launch angle on that foul ball was 80 degrees. So 90 degrees would be straight up from home plate.
What's that, like 32 degrees and 115 miles per hour? What does that do?
That knocks down the batter's eye. The 1-1. Upstairs, 2-1. Stanford with an insurance run at third, top of the 6th. Leading 6-5, the pitch. Sasaki tried to hold up. He went around on appeal. And the town is full.
Sasaki not happy. That whole dugout not happy.
I'll be honest, I thought he went.
I thought he went too. I thought it was a great pitch too on the inside.
I think you said it was full. It's actually 2-2 is the count. There's the set and the delivery. That one down low. Now it's 3-2. Every inning has been so long for Arizona pitching. They have just had to fight and scratch and claw for every out tonight. Half a dozen walks, 7 hits allowed. Sasaki fouls it back.
I had that. I was ready for that ball.
Fortunately, we're a little protected here. Anything that comes back and reaches this is going to be hit in such a manner that you're going to be purchasing a new laptop.
Yeah, kind of need one.
It's a good excuse.
Poly insurance on Major League Baseball. So, hey, build that fence a little, or that net a little higher.
I'm sure the city of Surprise will appreciate that. Sasaki takes low, ball 4 of a curveball. On base for the 3rd time today. Now here's the third baseman, J.J. Moran. 6-5 Stanford, top of the 6th.
Seventh walk issued by Arizona pitching tonight.
Sasaki gets the lead from first. Had I down the line at third. First pitch, swing and a miss by Moran. It's 0-1. This game has not really gotten sideways. It is a one-run game, but boy, it does feel like Stanford has dominated the time of possession to this point. Pop foul off to the right, not a play. And the count 0-2.
You know, the big difference is Arizona, with their pitching and just putting guys on base, behind counts constantly. Stanford has had guys in position almost every single inning of this game, just waiting for them to break out.
Pitch in the dirt. Sasaki took off. He will get second. They'll score that. A wild pitch, but again, Stanford with 2 in scoring position on a 1-2 count on the sophomore Moran. Off the end of the bat and foul. Stanford dugout cheering on Moran as he fights. 6-5 Cardinal, top of the 6th. The delivery on its way. Lined into center field, a base hit. 1 run is home. Sasaki around third. He will score a 2-run single for J.J. Moran, and Stanford back on top by 3, 8-5.
Big hit there by J.J. Moran. Great job of just waiting out that at bat, fighting through a 1-2 count, driving it up the middle. It's good hitting.
And Chip Hale is going to make a pitching change. Stranero could not get the 3rd out of the inning, and Stanford has put up a 3 spot. Arizona back into the bullpen, trying to find someone to slow down the Cardinal offense. They trail 8-5, 2 outs at the top of the 6th. Here in Surprise. Mr. Patrick Morris, the Chandler, Arizona native, transfer from Western Kentucky, takes over here, trying to keep this a 3-run deficit for Arizona. Stanford with a 3-run 6th inning. J.J. Moran delivering a 2-run single just moments ago that chased Nolan Stranero. And now Luke Lavin hits. 0 for 2 with a walk. And instead of throw to first.
Patrick Morris had one heck of a season last year at Western Kentucky. 1.11 ERA over 32 innings of work.
Runner goes, pitches a ball, the throw down to second, not nearly in time. Another stolen base for Stanford tonight. And another man in scoring position.
Yes, again, as a lefty too, it's a little bit different than they've been stealing on a lot of the righties. When it gets a lefty, a lot of times that runner goes on that first move. There's not a whole lot you can do it as a lefty unless you're picking off.
6th stolen base of the evening, swing and a miss by Lavin. That's 1 of 1. Yeah, Morris playing for the Highlanders last year. Western Kentucky had a terrific season in Conference USA, and then had this great pitching staff that almost all of them got in the portal.
The life of college baseball these days, that is tough.
Mark Reardon, their head coach, certainly used to losing guys, former junior college coach, so knows how to build teams. The 1-2 off the end of the bat and foul. Lavin stays alive. Eight, 5 Stanford, an insurance run in scoring position. For Stanford in the 6th, they lead 10-5.
What a celebration. Luke Lavin, great job going down and getting that ball. You see the highlight here. Little down and in, and he stayed on it. It is not easy to hit home runs here at night, and he did it right there.
Left on left, Lavin delivers, and Stanford extending their lead to 5. First pitch to Ethan Hott, a strike. It's 0-1. Inside a ball, 1-1 to Hott.
We were waiting all night for Stanford to break out.
Well, they had so many opportunities just because Arizona. I mean, the contrast is, listen, it's not like Stanford pitching has been super sharp this evening. But the difference is, I think you highlighted this, 7 walks, 6 stolen bases. Stanford's walked just 1 batter all night. So there just have not been the extra opportunities. Defensively, Arizona's played pretty clean other than the stolen bases. Hot swings and misses 2-2. There was the catcher's interference, but really it's mostly been about the walks and Stanford getting so many extra plate appearances in these long half innings. Hot fouls it away. (10-5) Stanford, top of the 6th here on opening night. Well, don't hustle after the ball, folks. Just take your time. Now it starts to get a little pep in the step. Now it's 3 sections away. Swing and a miss. Hot down on strikes. The inning is over. A 5 spot for Stanford. J.J. Moran, a 2-run single. Luke Lavin, a 2-run blast through 5.5. The Cardinal leads the Wildcats 10-5. Stanford with a 5 spot has a 10-5 lead. As Ben Reimers, son of a Stanford pitcher, comes on in relief, the junior, taking over last season. Reimers had 19 appearances and 8.46 ERA. This is some of what Stanford is battling, right? They have a lot of guys with experience. They just have not had good results. Gomez settled down after a rough first inning of work. So Reimers takes over here and trying to keep this a 5-run lead for Stanford while Arizona looking to mount a comeback. The last time Stanford put up a crooked number, the Wildcats answered to tie the game. We got some work to do here, starting with Roman Myers. It'll be Myers, Carson McIntyre, Nate Nowitzki to hit. Catcher Myers singled and struck out. Last year at Golden West Junior College after 2024 at Long Beach State. First pitch to the right-handed hitting. Myers inside a ball, 1-0.
Again, that Stanford pitching staff, a lot of questions. Who's going to step up? Who's going to earn jobs? They have a lot of arms, a lot of decent guys, but who's going to show themselves as someone they can rely on? Myers has that opportunity now.
Check swing foul, count 1-1. 1-2. Arizona needs base runners, down by 5 in the 6th. That one missed low, and the count 2-2. Everybody on the infield thought it was strike 3, but Steve Mattingly did not behind the plate.
It's just choreographed to try to get the umpire to believe him. It's a good job.
2-2. Fouled away. Just did get a piece. This is the end of night 1 of this college baseball series here in Surprise. Tomorrow afternoon, Arizona will meet Oregon State. 2 teams have played in Omaha last year. Both teams making it to the Men's College World Series. They will square off tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock Arizona time, which I realize can be confusing. That's 1 Pacific. That one hammered to center field. Hot turning around, looking up, and it's out of here. Roman Myers with a blast to center field to make it a 10-6 game. .433 feet on that home run.
He got every little bit of it too. Myers' second hit of the night, makes a strikeout in there, but you see the pitch middle, and he sent that thing right back up to the middle.
Wow.
That is not easy to do here.
That ball was absolutely scorched. 109 miles an hour off the bat.
Oh.
They're checking to see whether or not
Got
Myers is, he missed second base. Oh my goodness, he missed second base. And he is out. And it is not a home run. It'll go as a single and a putout. And now Steve Mattingly is going to get all of the umpires together, and they are going to go and look at this just to make sure. And Rintaro Sasaki apparently was the one who noticed it, and now is getting congratulations from Jimmy Nadeye on that.
Here's the replay rounding first. Let's watch.
Took a big wide turn at second.
Ooh, I thought he got it.
Did the heel touch the base, or did he overstride it?
He didn't look like he slowed down at all. He looked like he thought it from there. I thought the heel looked like it.
It kind of did, but I also understand from where Sasaki would be standing, or where the third base umpire would be standing. It was the third base umpire, Michael Checkerman, who made the call. But this is a big moment in this game. As it stands right now, it's 10-5 with 1 out and nobody on. And Myers' home run looks like it's going to be, as of right now, is a single. And to see whether or not there's enough to overturn the call on the field. Remember, the call on the field is that he missed second base. Or 10-5, excuse me, Stanford currently leading. Chip Hale with his arms folded, and it's been that kind of night for the Arizona Wildcats.
That's how I'd feel if I was him too. Now, you're not calling this, if you're an umpire, you're not calling this unless you saw that thing clear, unless you know it. And it's going to take a lot you're going to have to see his foot on that bag to overturn this.
Steve Mattingly back out. He did touch the base, according to the replay review, so they saw what you saw. That Myers touched the base, and it is a home run. It's 10-6. Chip Hale kind of letting his assistant coaches know. He's like, Dave, listen, like, I'll argue with the umpires. And Dave Esker not happy with it. Here's another look at it.
Again, you're seeing that big round. Watch that foot right here.
Yeah, I think it's pretty clear there.
Yeah.
I think you're right. He did touch the base. All right, so that is a big moment. I think we've seen just a little bit of everything so far tonight, haven't we? Here's McIntyre, 10-6 game, swing and a miss.
Well, even in that game one, you saw the second base get taken off, him grabbing the bag 5 feet past the base.
Who'd have thought all the action would be at second base today? One on one the count.
How would you even write that down? Base
So
hit,
it would go
runner.
as a single. No, it would go single, and the put out would go, I believe, 6 unassisted or 4 unassisted.
Oh,
that one unloaded by McIntyre, deep to left field, and Arizona goes back to back. Jimmy Neti watching to make sure that McIntyre touched second. Touched third in the middle of the bag, and it's a 3-run game.
Review it, review it.
And an emphatic stop on home plate.
Those 2 home runs were both absolutely destroyed. Off the bat, that ball was a missile, no doubter, into the night, both of these home runs. And that's how you get a team back into this ball game. Curveball, oh, he got every little bit of it.
McIntyre's power intriguing. The question is, can he make enough contact? But that 400-foot blast has made it a 10-7 game and gotten the chance of U of A from the Arizona faithful.
Okay, I figured it out. Stanford just needs to stop scoring. That's their problem. Every time they score, Arizona scores. They just need to stop scoring, they'll win this game.
Might be whoever scores last wins. Holy cow. 10-7. First pitch in the dirt to Nowitzki. Singled and scored a run in the 4th. That was a 3-run inning that Arizona answered after Stanford had put up a 3 spot. Trying to do the same for the 5 spot Stanford put up in the 6th. 2-0. And action again in the Stanford pen. Two and one.
This is what you want to do. This is what good baseball teams can do, though. When you do fall behind, when you do give up runs, you go out there with the bats and you get runs right back. You don't let the other team keep running away. You don't let them step on your neck. You keep scoring.
3-1 the count to Nowitzki. Grant waiting on deck. Good hitters count here. Ripped on the ground to first. Diving stop by Sasaki. Stays with it and feeds. Reimer's covering. What a play by Rintaro. 1 out.
What a play indeed. Moving to his left. Hit off, I think, like the heel of his glove, maybe. The ball rolling right in front of him. Good play to the pitcher covering. What's the ball here? Just rolled right down his arm. He's stuck with it.
A big first out in this 3-run game.
Just your standard 3-1.
Matisse Morant bats. Yeah, that was routine. And Morant, did he go? He didn't. He's a hit by pitch. And now the lineup turns over with traffic on the bases, and Reimer's inning starting to get away from him a little bit as there's action on the bullpen for Stanford again.
Getting a conversation with his pitching coach. See if they make the move. Yep, they already decided to make that move.
That'll be it for Reimers. Thomas Eager out to get the ball from the right-hander. 2 homers and a hit batter in the 4 batters he faced here in the 6th. And Stanford clinging to a 10-7 lead in the bottom of the 6th. Don't go anywhere. This is going to be an exciting finish. It's opening night here at Flow College. Colt Peterson is the new pitcher making his collegiate debut, the freshman out of Orange Lutheran in California. A pitching family, his brother Nick at UC Santa Barbara, one of the top pitchers in Southern California the last 2 years, taking over. And nothing like making your debut in a game where you have to face the top of the Arizona lineup after they've already put home a couple of runs. A runner at first. Back-to-back home runs by Myers and McIntyre. As Arizona's answered the 5 spot, or tried to answer the 5 spot that Stanford put up at the top of the inning. We already saw Shane Brennan make his collegiate debut for Michigan tonight in a somewhat similar spot and excel. Now Dave Esker hoping for the same out of his freshman right-hander.
Colt Peterson in high school was known for his command. Even was voted the best control in the 2025 draft of the high school players. So it'd be good to have somebody be able to go out there and throw strikes.
Tyler Bickers has had a good night at the plate. The transfer from UW-Milwaukee takes a strike. It's 0-1. Walked and singled twice, knocked home a couple of runs.
Great night at the plate. Perfect for a leadoff hitter.
The 0-1. Line foul and out of play. Oh, and 2 the count to Bickers. Bickers clearly has a very good idea of the strike zone. We've seen that tonight. He will not chase away, or has not tonight at least. Morant from first. A pitch called strike 3. Locked him up with that one, 2 outs.
Great little slider curveball there by the freshman. Getting ahead with the fastball, 90-91, and an 83-mile-an-hour pitch there.
2 outs. Nikolakis hits. Nikolakis a sac fly in the 3rd, 0 for 2. 10-7 Stanford, bottom 6th. Pitch in the air to left, going back on it, and making the catch is Sell, and the inning is over. Freshman Peterson throwing strikes and gets a couple of outs, but Arizona has the back-to-back homers from Myers and McIntyre and made this a 10-7 game as we head to the 7th. Matthew Martinez, who made 17 appearances last year for the Wildcats. Peoria, Arizona native, taking over on the mound. He will try to keep this a 3-run deficit for Arizona. They trail 10-7 as we head to the 7th inning. It has been an eventful night so far. Stark contrast to our first game today, which was a really tight defensive affair. Evan Hager with the pair of 2-run singles for Michigan as they pulled the upset of Oregon State, number 12 team in the country. Here, number 24 Arizona down 10-7 to Stanford. And the number 9 hitter, Brock Sell, will lead things off. Single walk, a run scored, a couple of nice defensive plays in the outfield for the freshman making his collegiate debut.
I don't know if I've ever seen an outfielder run as much as he has.
and
get the outs. And running 4 outs, not just running after balls.
It's really intriguing to watch this Stanford outfield defense. Tatum Marsh is so good at right, and then what Sell has shown, we know that Ethan Hott can cover a lot of ground in center. There's a strike. It's 0-2. That ooh, I'm assuming, is because Martinez is funky.
Yes, that is funky. That has got to be not fun seeing him. Kind of body kind of going every little way coming at you. 5'11" from Mountain Ridge right here. You see kind of,
yeah. And he made quick work, good off speed, 1 out.
Is that a split or is that like a screwball or something?
It's probably more of a changeup, but whatever it is, Brock Sell had not, they don't have that in high school, and even in California, 1 out.
I think Sasaki's probably seen that before, but that's a good fastball.
Strike.
Not overpowering with the fastball, 87, but when you're coming with something so funky and you're waiting for the bottom to fall out of it like Sell saw, everything changes. It's hard to see, it's hard to judge. You don't guess on these pitches, but at the same time, you're trying to look for tendencies, and it's hard to see it.
This is low, the count 1-2 to Marsh. Trying to get the answer to the question on what exactly that off-speed pitch is from Martinez, other than nasty. Yes, did get a piece, did.
I think it's breaking the machine. What is it saying?
Changeup.
Changeup.
I mean, it's a little, it's a Josh Colmetter action, which people in the state of Arizona are likely familiar with. The former opening day starter for the Diamondbacks, who is a way over the top right-hander. Upstairs, 2-2. He played collegiately at Central Michigan, but it's not quite as pronounced. Colmetter was a right-hander who looked like he released the ball over his left shoulder while he was facing.
But there's guys that you see that will get up and really tall and like almost over their left shoulder, but you kind of see it coming because they'll lean.
Right.
He's right at you, and then at the very last second, it's like he throws his arm up over his head.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a head whack there. You can see his head moving, but it's not that kind of spine tilt that you would normally see with a guy who's over the top like that. 3-2 count. 10-7 Stanford. They lead in the top of the 7th. The payoff. Marsh fouls it away. David furiously searching for comps.
I've seen if this is the comp right here. Uehara. A little bit on the action, but he was lower.
Foul away again. The thing is, the guys that are right-handers that are from that high slot tend to be reverse split guys too.
Yeah.
Usually you'll see like a curveball and a changeup out of that spot. Just hard for lefties to pick it up. It's an odd release point. Called strike 3.
It's odd
Bates
for
the
everybody
fastball.
right here. I like this kid.
Matthew Martinez. Back-to-back strikeouts to start his outing. 2 outs for Charlie Bates. Bates, triple, walk, driven in 3, scored a couple of runs. Got a base hit, 2 for 2. Squares the bunt, pulls back, ball 1. Check swing roller up along first and foul. Yeah, this is a tougher look for the lefty Bates for sure.
There it is.
Former teammate of yours?
Yes, Okajima, Hideki Okajima, but
He
from
was
the
a
left
lefty,
side.
yeah.
You watch that motion. Last second up over top.
Some good years, Boston. You played with him in Boston?
Played with him in Boston. You know what? I'll never forget this. He had his own custom song that somebody wrote for him and sang, and that's what he came out to. And I definitely played it in my car every night when I drove home from the stadium. We went out to Tokyo and played out there, and he took the whole bullpen to one of the most spectacular dinners I was ever a part of. It was incredible.
What'd you guys get?
We went to, I don't even know, it was down underground somewhere in Tokyo. It was like you went down underground, but then it was like owned little city streets. And each building, that was your table.
1-2, swing and a miss. Bates down on strikes, and Martinez strikes out the side of the 7th. The first 1-2-3 inning for Arizona tonight. It's time to stretch and surprise. The changeup fluttering away from Bates. Stanford leading Arizona on opening night 10-7. And 7, Stanford leads Arizona as the Wildcats bat in the bottom of the 7th. See there what is going on Flow College. The college baseball tournament's happening right now. First pitch inside to Andrew Kane. It's 1-0. Heart of the order due for Arizona: Kane, Lira, and Sylvester. Against the freshman right-hander Colt Peterson, who got the last 2 outs of the 6th. So, line drive into left field, base hit, Sell over to cut it off. It's a leadoff single for Kane, his second hit of the night. Boy, Sell covered a lot of ground to get to that ball.
Covered a lot of ground to get there. That ball almost got past him, too. You can see this line drive. Watch the last second, it kind of stayed down a lot lower than he thought it would. He was lucky to get a glove on that.
Here's Tony Lira. Lira 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. Jackson takes a strike. It's 0-1. Big hole in the right side. Arizona needs base runners, down 3 in the 7th. Nothing at 2. Peterson hasn't been afraid to throw strikes here.
Not at all. Only thrown one ball so far.
Slow roller to short. Bates' only play will be to first for the first out. Kane to second on the fielder's choice.
Smart play by Bates. Didn't try to force that play to second base. See a weak little ground ball up the middle. He could have possibly had the out, but you take the for sure thing.
Yeah, I mean, if he goes to the bag at second, he might get the out there, but they're not going to get the double play either way, and his momentum looked like it was heading towards first, so.
The thing about that, too, is you're running so fast and you're so close to second. If you try to flip it, it's hard for the second baseman to judge where that ball is. Plus, with your momentum, it's hard to get that ball right to the chest where you can actually catch it. Smart move.
1-0 the count to Bo Sylvester.
I think Peterson lost it. He threw a ball.
Sylvester doubled and scored in the 4th, 1 for 3. He's ahead 2-0.
Yeah, he's done. Stop. Close pitch, actually. Right there again. He's known for his command, and it's not surprising that he has great command.
The 2-0. 3-0. Roman Myers, who hit a 433-foot home run his last trip, is on deck, hoping to get a chance to tie the game. Three and 1.
Now I believe in him. He's back.
Just took him a couple pitches. Got to make the adjustment, right?
Yes. Just wanted to get behind, make it a little tough for himself. That was my game. Throw a couple balls, make it interesting, get the crowd into it a little bit.
3 and 1. Popped up into right. Marsh is there. Make the catch for out number 2, and Kane to stay at second. It'll bring up Roman Myers. Certainly has the power to get Arizona within a run. It's been an eventful night for the catcher. Stanford has stolen 6 bases against him. He's had a couple throws going to center field, although runners didn't advance. He had a catcher's interference call in the 2nd inning that allowed Stanford to tie the game, and on his home run, an appeal play at second initially called him out after Rentaro Sasaki had thought he'd missed the bag. So did a third base umpire, but review overturned that, gave him the solo homer. So he's been in the middle of just about everything tonight for Arizona on both sides.
And I think his last ball he hit, he tried to kill the cactus in center field. I think that's against the law in Arizona, so they might have to check him into that.
Foul back. 0-2. Yeah, Saguaros are protected, so
can't be hitting that thing, man. Tried. He got close.
He's behind in the count 0-2. 10-7 Stanford, last of the 7th. Just off the plate.
Ooh. You know, I noticed that Peterson, first inning, came in a big situation, got out of it, was calm, was not pumped, wasn't pumping his fists or yelling or anything. And right there, 0-2 pitch, 2 outs, runner on second, just missed. You didn't see any reaction from him, right? He wasn't the one coming off the mound. He wasn't going towards his dugout. Just got the ball back, got right back on the mound.
He got to very calmly tie his shoes.
Yes. Trying to now that's how he slows it down.
1-2 the count to Myers.
A lot of poise for a freshman.
Swing and a miss.
Oh, there's some excitement. A little
Ooh,
fist
on
bump.
the way with a fastball, and Peterson gets out of the jam. We played 7. Stanford leading Arizona 10-7. A young man, Peterson, the freshman, showing up big for the Cardinal. Dave Esker's team's got a 10-7 lead as they go to the 8th. Tomorrow they will take on Michigan, and then on Sunday, Oregon State. There'll be 7 games total in this college baseball series, including one Monday between Michigan and Oregon State. Stanford's actually going to stick around the Valley and take on Nebraska, who's down here playing in the Major League Baseball Desert Invitational. So they will still be here on Monday, although not part of our broadcast. Here's Jimmy Nadai, the second baseman, takes a strike. It's 1-1. Colt Peterson has settled this game down for the Cardinal when they desperately needed. The bullpen was a major issue for them last year. And the freshman has done an excellent job retiring 5 of the 6 batters he's faced. Anthony Martinez set down all 3 that he faced in the 7th inning for Arizona, has fallen behind Nadai 2-1. Nadai down the left field line, that'll be extra bases. A leadoff double for Jimmy Nadai. And Stanford, looking for an insurance run, has a man in scoring position to start the 8th.
First hit of the season for Nadai, has to be excited about that. Coming up leadoff in a big spot. Down in the zone, getting down and getting it right down the line. First of the year for him, he's got to be happy.
The 1 for 4 tonight is Brady Reynolds. He drove in a run with an RBI ground out in the 6th. That's a 5-run inning for Stanford that gave them the lead. As he swings and misses on a breaking ball, it's 0-1. Boy, Martinez with a couple of lefties coming up. This really feels like a chance for him to get Arizona back in to the plate and get back their deep defenders back in the dugout pretty quickly here. He's just not an easy look for a lefty. Reynolds would love it if he made a mistake. He didn't. And he's down on 3 pitches, 1 out.
Ken, you can't say it enough. It is a hard look, especially for a lefty coming over the top like that. He's hiding the ball, and he's kind of throwing his whole body at you, kind of jumping backwards at the same time. Ball's trailing down and away, then it's riding up. It is tough to hit guys like this. That's why they're funky. Everyone loves these guys on the pitching staff.
Rintaro Sasaki is homered and doubled tonight. He's also walked, scored a couple runs. He takes a strike. It's 0-1. Rintaro, who had an unbelievable amount of pressure on him last year. He was the preseason ACC Freshman of the Year. Swings and misses there. It's 0-2. But tonight, it's been a different story than the struggles he had last year when he hit the 270s and hit just 7 homers. A long home run to right and an opposite field double on a heater. 0-2. Swings and launches one deep and fouled on the right field line and out of play.
There's a lot of freshmen out there. Oh, did that go on top of the building? There's a lot of freshmen out there that would take 270 and 7.
Yes.
You know, there are a lot of guys. That is not a bad year. But when you go in with all the expectations of the world, I remember watching this kid, watching videos of him in Japan. All eyes are on you. Everybody's expecting you to be King Kong, and it's just give the guy a break. Let him grow into it. As like we're watching tonight, he's got a pretty good swing, and he can handle himself at the plate and at first base.
He made the decision. Swing and a miss. He's down on strikes, 2 outs. But he made the decision to forego the NPB draft so he could get a chance to play ball in the States. He wants to test himself against professionals eventually, but right now as a redshirt sophomore, he did, you know, what was interesting about Sasaki is he actually was in school in the summer of 2024, but did not play. He was trying to get acclimated to life in the U.S., bounced to the third, and ran out on a nice pick by Lira at first, and the inning is over. Leadoff double goes to waste through 7.5. Stanford leads Arizona 10-7. Bottom of the 8th inning, 10-7 Stanford. Mike Erspamer's on, making his debut, the freshman, San Clemente, California. This is a cool story, David. You reminded me of this at the break. He was largely unknown, pitching at a showcase when Stanford coaches saw him. It's before his junior year, and invited him to come and be a part of the Stanford baseball camp. He said he showed up. He's like, I didn't even know the coaches. I didn't know anybody there. There's 150 kids at this thing. I didn't know anyone. Stanford watched him pitch at that showcase at the camp, and they offered him on the spot.
Love it. How cool is that?
That's really awesome.
That's such a neat story. It's just the opportunity. You know what? You throw it out there. You don't even know. You just give it everything you have. Find out.
He doesn't look nervous at all either. He's smiling and looks like he's ready to go with his collegiate debut. He's pitching with a 3-run lead in the 8th. McIntyre homered his last trip. There's Bomber's first pitch. Strike going 1.
Yeah, now I see why they signed him. That ball is running away. That's nasty.
That moved about 1.5 foot. Ooh. Big breaking ball for a strike going 2.
Probably
These
putting
freshmen,
out the other way.
You know, we were talking a little bit to Dave Esker before the game about how he was going to deploy his pitching, and he said, you know, he's like, one of the things I'm trying to figure out is, do we trust some of these freshmen in big situations? And so far he has, and he's been rewarded for it. Foul back.
He is letting us hear his slider and his off speed there as he's grunting on every single pitch. I like it. Sometimes it's hard to trust freshmen when they come in. The lights are on, tougher competition. You got people in the stands. It's a lot different than pitching at San Clemente High School. So it's hard to trust them at first. But man, these freshmen look good right now.
McIntyre tagged out by Lavin, and a strikeout of the first batter that he faces for Erspammer, 1 out.
Save that ball.
10-7 Stanford. The freshmen have settled this game down. And a pinch hitter here for Arizona. Tom Rodriguez. Senior, former JUCO player at Delta College. Rodriguez will hit for Nowitzki. Swing and a miss. Oh, and 1. Rodriguez last year, 5 for 24. Takes off the plate. It's 1-1.
I'll say this: if the coaches weren't watching Erspammer when he was pitching, they would definitely hear him when he was pitching.
Lands a breaking ball for a strike. It's 1-2.
Good pitch mix. It's slider that's really consistent. He's got a sinker that's running away, slider that's running in.
It's a little higher arm slot, too. It's not quite as pronounced as Matthew Martinez, the right-hander for Arizona, but it's another deceptive delivery. Big breaking ball, strike 3.
3 pitch mix. Freshmen, hey, we got something here with these Stanford freshmen. They are aggressive. Again, he's bringing it a little lot different than Peterson is. Peterson was really calm on the mound. You really didn't see much emotion until the last punch out. We're seeing a lot more energy here with him, but again, big situations. You handle it different ways, but what matters most is, are you getting the ball over the plate and getting outs? And these guys are taking over this game.
Here's Morant, who's been on base twice, a single and hit by a pitch. He takes outside, 1-0. 10-7 Stanford, bottom 8. 2 outs and nobody on. The 1-0. Inside, 2-0.
It's got to be weird, too, for a right-handed batter where Erspammer almost steps directly at you as a lefty. It looks like he's going to step directly at you, and then that ball is riding away. So it's got to be a weird look, take you off guard for a second. You have to stay in there and try to get that ball to right field if you're a righty.
2-0. 3-0. Morant trying to get on and turn things over to the top of the lineup. And Tyler Bickers has had a good night in his Arizona debut. 3-1 the count. High fly ball deep to left. Sell going back, still going back to the fence, and he's got it. And the inning is over. Morant gave it a ride, but a 1-2-3 inning for Erspammer. And high fives from his teammates as we head to the ninth. A big sigh of relief from the freshman. Stanford with a 3-run lead. See Chip Hale assuming the classic baseball man pose with arms folded there. The Wildcats rest of their schedule here in Surprise, including a matchup with former conference rival Oregon State tomorrow. The only meeting this year between two teams that were in last season's College World Series. Matthew Martinez has settled the game down for Arizona. Their offense has not been able to pick him up, though. 10-7 Stanford. As we start the ninth, and Luke Lavin's ahead 2-0. It's been an impressive outing for Martinez. He's given up a hit in 2 innings, a strike there. It's 2-1.
That was the first pitch I saw where his arm slot looked like it was back up, but when he was warming up, first couple pitches, it looked like it was dropping a little bit. Again, you were saying he might be looking a little fatigued, might be legs not quite under him. These last 2 pitches, it looked like he got it back to the spot where he was the last inning.
Well, both of them were curveballs, right? And so I wonder if, I hear that a lot from catchers, right? You try to get guys back on track using the breaking balls. The changeup there was filthy for out number 1. I mean, did you go through that where, like, if you could land your breaking ball for a strike, it locked your mechanics back in?
Without a doubt. Absolutely. And for me, who would struggle with early strikes and counts, especially with my fastball, they give you this as slider, back when we actually used to give signs, and then you just take it off a little bit, you just throw one for a strike, and it feels like you locked it back in. And right now, he looked like he's locked right back in.
First pitch misses to Ethan Hott, 1-0. 6 strikeouts in the 8 batters faced for Martinez tonight. And this is a guy with an 87-mile-an-hour fastball, but it is funky. There's a strike at the top of the zone at 87. It's 1-1.
It looks 93. His fastball looks like it's 93 with that type of delivery and that type of changeup.
It is some of the shortest extension that you will ever see, I think, because of that release. Ooh, that tied him up. Foul.
Trying to protect my computer.
I don't think that one would have done much damage at 51 miles an hour. But his extension, so we talk a lot about extension, right? And 7 feet is a lead, right? The average is in the major leagues is a little over 6 feet. Swing and a miss. 2 outs, 7 strikeouts for Martinez. He is only getting about 5 feet from the rubber. Like, not even. It's 4'9", 4'10".
And he's 5'11".
Yeah.
So he's not even he's getting a foot less than his own height.
But I wonder if that makes the pitches move a little bit more. I think it adds to the deception. A bunt and a good idea by Sell, but Martinez will fire to first. And a 1-2-3 ninth. Matthew Martinez, outstanding work out of the Arizona pen to keep this a 3-run deficit. We head to the bottom of the ninth. Stanford trying to close out a Game 1 win. Look at this. Cat-like reflexes. 10-7 Cardinal. Power is going to try and finish this one for Stanford. They lead 10-7. Final game of day one of the 2026 College Baseball Series in Surprise, Arizona. And he will have to go through the top of the Arizona lineup to do it. Freshman with a 1-2-3-8. The relief work the last couple of innings by both teams has been excellent. First pitch outside, 1-0. Colt Peterson, the freshman for Stanford. Great job cleaning up in the 6th and then a scoreless 7th. And then in the 8th, Earthspalmer, a 1-2-3 inning. Anthony Martinez, well, just one base runner over his 3 innings of work for Arizona. The count 2-0 here to Bickers. Tyler Bickers, 2 hits and a walk today in 4 plate appearances. On base percentage near .500 last year at UW Milwaukee. The 2-0. 3-0.
Being a leadoff hitter, man, this is what he does. Works counts, gets pitchers in tough spots. This might be the first walk we've seen out of Stanford in a little bit.
Ball 4, and the leadoff man reaches for Arizona in the 9th. Thomas Eager, the pitching coach for Stanford, is going to head out to the mound to talk to the freshman.
Still smiling as he's walking out there.
There is action in the bullpen. Well, there's standing in the bullpen. At some point there was action. I don't think that that's actually a statue of a reliever. You see now, you see he does move. Lefty standing on the mound there, Eager. Seems like he's having a conversation with Earthspalmer, and I don't think he's going to take him out, so the freshman's going to stay with it. Boy, he's having a blast tonight, isn't he?
Have to.
You want to play behind that guy. He looks like he's having fun. Stanford's had fun tonight. A 5-run 6th inning gave them the lead. They lead 10-7. Maddox Mikalakis, sacrifice fly in 4 trips. He's 0 for 3. First pitch to the third baseman in the dirt, gets away. Lavin pounces on it quickly. A couple of lefties here with Mikalakis and then Keene. Tony Lira, the cleanup man, 3 batters away. He is hitless tonight and is fanned twice. Runner back.
It's the first pick we've seen in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good time for it, just to make sure nothing's going on over there, even if he doesn't have a big lead.
Well, Stanford stole 6 bases, but they haven't had a base runner in a while. The 1-0. 2-0.
I don't give him the green light. I make this freshman throw me a strike. I make him throw 2 strikes in a row. Don't go chasing. Don't give him anything. I don't care if it's your pitch to hit. Let him force strikes in there. See what he can do.
Earthspalmer steps off, and they're going to go and get him. Thomas Eager is going to make the pitching change mid-count.
I don't think they're getting him. I think it's a headpiece.
Oh, is it a headpiece? You're right. Having trouble hearing.
Just put a finger down. That'll let you know what to throw.
You guys in your
old school
and your hate for technology.
I know. I probably would have loved this stuff.
You didn't have to worry about remembering what the second side indicator was.
Second shake first. Like we had this pump system at Rice. Oh, it was high level math. This system at Rice. There was no way you were stealing those signs.
2-0 the count. Vickers at first. The pitch. Fires a strike. It's 2-1.
That was all it was the whole time.
Just needed a new contraption. I mean, it's been a 3.5-hour game. There is a chance that somebody didn't get the vote charged all the way. Upstairs, it's 3-1.
This is going to be real trouble if he lets him get away, get on first base. You got Keene and Lear coming up, the big boppers in the middle of that lineup. Don't want to get to them with a couple guys on base.
The 3-1, and the count is full. You said it. You would let Mikalakis take a pair of strikes. The Arizona dugout trying to put the whammy on Earthspammer. Nobody out. Man at first. Arizona down 3 last of the 9th. Swing and a miss. Mikalakis down on strikes, 1 out.
Earthspammer showing so much emotion after that pitch. Blows it by him, and then he is all full of emotion. I think he forgot. He still has 2 more outs to go for a second there.
That's a tough hitter to get, and here's Andrew Kane, who's got a pair of hits tonight. Arizona still needs a base runner to get the tying run to the plate. We've had great drama in these first 2 games so far this season. Foul back, boy. Good pass there by Kane. It's 0-1.
It's what a strikeout will do. It'll lock you back in. You see a good pitch there. He had been behind everybody until that pitch. Get the strikeout, you battle through the batter, get the strikeout, and you're locked back in.
The 0-1. Breaking ball upstairs, and the count 1-1. It has been a record-setting day attendance-wise across college baseball. 5,683 here, the highest single-day attendance ever for a college game at Surprise Stadium.
Wow.
And after a record in Knoxville today of nearly 7,000 for their game against Nichols. Ball 2. Lavins had a couple of chances of that curveball and dropped it both times. And now the count 2-1 to Kane. Tony Lira, the cleanup man, waiting on deck, hoping to get a chance with a couple men on. Earthspammer trying to get out of this now. Throw over to first, the runner back.
Now this is a pitch, I let him go. Full green light. Look for your pitch. What we'd say when look for your pitches, what is your best pitch to hit for yourself? And right here, those are one of those situations you say, look for your pitch. Every hitter has a spot in the zone where they want the ball, whether it's up or away or a little down and in for lefties. A lot of times it's a little down and in. Look for your pitch, and if it's not your pitch, don't swing the bat.
He had a pretty good pass at a first pitch fastball. 2-1 the count. Vickers from first, the delivery. Takes a strike, it's 2-2. Pretty similar to the pitch that he fouled off to start the at-bat. Maybe a little up. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. Got him to chase the high hitter. 2 outs.
Got him going up out of the zone to chase that ball. God, I guarantee he's walking out the dugout wishing he had swung.
2 outs, and Tony Lira, the last chance for Arizona, down 10-7 on the bottom of the 9th.
I think Earthspammer just looked at every single finger and his palm before getting that ball.
I'm sure he's probably trying to get just a little bit of tack, something. There's probably some sweaty palms tonight. He's been pretty cool looking on the mound. Lefty set. First pitch. Strike on the inside corner, 0-1.
I wonder if we get to see Vickers moving a little bit here, just trying to get out of a force out, an easy second at second base.
He's being held by Sasaki. The 0-1. 0-2. And now Stanford one strike away from an opening night victory.
Yeah, a lot of times in this situation, you'll see the first baseman in the pros step away from that runner to try to get in a better fielding position. Give up that run that doesn't mean anything to be able to field the ball.
0-2 the count to Lira. The pitch. Tapped to first and foul. Maybe Sasaki's being positioned perfectly.
Like I said, leave him right there. Perfect.
0-2. The set, the pitch, swing and a miss. Stanford wins on opening night as their freshman relievers shut the door in a 10-7 victory.
5 strikeouts for the freshman.
Erzheimer and Peterson do the job out of the Stanford pen. They hold Arizona at bay over the final 3 2/3 innings, and they take their opener tonight, upsetting number 24 Arizona 10-7. That after Michigan beat number 12 Oregon State this afternoon. What a day. A pair of upsets to start the season.
Pair of upsets. That Oregon State upset is going to not sit well with Mitch Canham. But you know what? We saw great baseball all around. Some great freshmen stepping up and definitely pitching really well. Stanford has to be really happy with this win.
Day 2 of the season tomorrow. We'll get things started at 2 p.m. Arizona time. That's 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific. As Arizona and Oregon State, a pair of ranked teams, meet up. For David Ardsman, our entire crew at Surprise, I'm Mike Farron. Thanks for joining us in the 2026 College Baseball Series.